What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 103 of the weekly comic wrap up. Yes, lots to talk about tonight. I'm super excited because I finally get to kick it with Izzy. That's right, he's on tonight. But before we get into the show, I gotta shout out the boys like I've been doing every week. Neon Ghosthouse, that is the new intro song. Amazing Canadian fellas, great band. Go show them some love. All their info is in the description of the video. Amazing. Like I said, I highly encourage everybody to listen to them. I listen to them a little too much. But yeah, shout out to Neon Ghosthouse on the new intro, outro video, intro song, all of that good stuff. And I also want to plug one more thing, guys. Tomorrow night, Comic Legion, with their new comic book day claim sale. They go live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's hosted by Lefteros himself and as well as Chia Pet. They are there to bring you guys the new books that are dropping this week. So if you missed out on your pre-orders, it's okay. No one's judging you. And you want to buy one of those books, hey, man, you have a spot to do that. It's Comic Legion every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, it's hosted by Lefteros as well. Always bringing the knowledge, and he's sharp. He's sharp. He's a smooth talker, man. He makes me look at books in a different way every now and then, and I appreciate you, Lefteros. So, guys, check it out. Check it out. All right. Before I bring in the ever so awesome guest, I have to give a huge thank you. Last week, if you guys missed it, had the opportunity to hang out with B. Earl from Marvel. Dude, such a phenomenal guy, an amazing writer. He even brought on Taboo from, Marvel, Black Eyed Peas, and guys, that was a ride, man. It was such a good time, and wonderful gentlemen. So thank you both, of course, for doing that, showing up, everybody in the chat, engaging. It was really cool to hear how Taboo actually got into the hobby. You got into comics and all that fun stuff. So if you missed it, please do yourself a favor, catch that replay, because it was good times. Now, speaking good times. Oh, we are in for a ride because, guys, it's so funny. 103 episodes on this end. Covrprice. Yeah, he does videos for Covrprice. I go live for Covrprice Tuesdays, Thursdays, and not once have we crossed paths live on a stream together. And tonight, for the first time ever, I get to kick it with my man, Izzy. Izzy, what's going on?
What's going on? I gotta follow Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, we just went downhill from there, bro.
No. Don't worry. You're doing just fine. Just fine.
Hey, let's get it started, man.
I think it's very fair to say that if anybody could follow that up, it's you, because, hey, man, you're doing great things, dude. Your YouTube channel, man, you're like well over 20,000 subscribers.
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. No, you're about to hit 20,000.
I'm about 360, 340 there and stuff like that. So it's getting there. Hopefully by the end of the year, it'll be there. That's my hope. That's my goal by the end of the year. And it's, it's fun, man. And lots of work. It was lots of work, man.
Yeah, dude, you've been grinding for quite some time, man. And you put out amazing work. I don't say this solely based on the fact because, hey, we're Covrprice family now. No, it has nothing to do with that.
We both got the blue backgrounds.
Oh, yes. I didn't even realize that. But no, that's not entirely it, man. Honestly, I've been watching your stuff for quite some time, man. This goes back to the days of when I was doing YouTube with Newbie. And dude, you do amazing work. Your editing skills is absolutely insane. If you guys are not watching Izzy on his YouTube channel, you're missing out. So definitely do so. And let's get him closer to that 20,000. Let's make him crack that 20,000.
It's gonna be a momentous occasion for sure. When I hit 10,000, believe it or not, I hit 10,000 this past year. So there was a standstill, and then there was some work being done on my end to try to help boost it, and then poof, you know what I'm saying? So there was like some strategy involved. I took a hiatus, and it's actually been a year since that hiatus. And ever since that, I made some changes and stuff like that. And now the channel is doing really good. It's a healthy channel. A lot of good stuff. Some changes going on here and there on the back end, but and like I told you, there's a lot of work being done. The editing is nothing, to be honest. But
I don't know, man.
The editing. Believe it or not, the editing is the least of my problems. It's getting to the editing that's the bigger problem.
I know that's true. I know that struggle, dude. Just preparing for Sunday nights, guys. I say this all the time. Like tonight, we're well over 50 slides. Whenever I send my stuff to my guests, I'm like, I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? Like I feel that bad.
No, I looked through the stuff when you sent it to me. I started looking through the stuff. Okay, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Okay, I know about John Cena, so that's easy. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's this and this, and obviously when we get to the news, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But what was really funny is, as I told you right before we were on, like as you were doing this, I was literally recording the video for Covrprice because there was a typo somewhere, and I fixed the typo. So be expecting that video tomorrow. It will be out tomorrow. I don't know what time. It depends on when I send the video out to Brian at the end, and he usually uploads it almost immediately. So it's a good list this week, and you might see a couple of those books back there in that list. So, and I do my best to do it.
Intentional? Did you swap books?
I do that all the time because if I got the books, I got the books. You know what I mean? So if I don't got the book, I don't got the book. But if I got it, I got it.
Hell yeah, man, dude!
There's a superstar right there, Cliff on Comics.
Of course he is.
That's my baby right there. That's what I call my baby.
Yeah, dude, I love having Cliff on, man. Cliff has done so much on this side of town within this channel. So shout out to Cliff. Shout out to a lot of people who are here in the chat. Guys, the JSS Brooklyn was actually with Rob Fatstacks. I think that was yesterday. So that was yesterday. I have to catch that replay because, man, dude, JSS has an amazing collection.
So I'll let you in on something. This is from yesterday's video. He did show a lot of modern books. He actually gave me a preview sample of what he was going to show. And there was one book in particular. If anybody knows me really well, they knew I jumped for joy when he showed that one book, because most of the people in the community hate on it. But I understand it's important. So,
and it's a modern book?
It's definitely a modern book. I'll let you watch it, and I think you'll figure it out when you see the video. So watch the video and you'll figure it out. If not, the chat will probably tell you what it is.
Yeah, I look forward to that. Now, I want to shout out JSS. I want to shout out you as well. Lots and lots to discuss tonight when it comes to the Comic Book Community Awards as well. We're going to dive into that within the Hot Topics portion of the show. But you were nominated. The JSS, who is in the chat, was nominated. A few other homies as well. Dude, I'm in the same, category with some friends as well. There's Paul in the 619, K-pop, but we'll dive into all of that.
I feel the same way. I'm with Mighty Comic Collectibles, Economic with Comics.
Yeah.
And it's one of the shows. It's a nomination for one of the shows that I'm really happy of, which is a trending show, which we could explain the trending show how I do it a little differently than everybody else. So there is a formula behind that one.
Yeah. Well, feel free if you want to dive into that now or after.
Let's do it. So one day I started thinking to myself, like we're content creators. As on content creators, we have a tendency to look at top trending books, right? We look at the trending books. Obviously, Covrprice. We look at Covrprice's top 10 that usually comes out on Monday at around 6:30, and I know this for a fact because I was going crazy waiting for that list to pop up. But I also like to look at the top trending lists from Key Collector, from CBSI, the Hot 10. And one day I said, why not do a consolidation of the three and come up with this information, and then add a 30-day sale, and then add a hype value, and then add a fair market value, and little things like that, and sales. And I ended up compiling this trending list out of the top trending lists. Yeah. And it became like the ultimate trending list in that way. Nothing against anybody's list. I think all those lists, they're related to each other. But for me, it was more on the lines of, how come this guy's book is number 1, and how come over here this book is number 10, the same book? So that was where it started getting to me, like, I want something that people could look at and look at it from this kind of perspective. At the same time, I also want people to look at not just the week sales, but take a look at the 30-day sale of it, because that says a lot as well. And that's how my trendy list came about. There's a spreadsheet, Lando. If I show you the spreadsheet, you'll be like, what? And one day I am going to show the spreadsheet so people know exactly what I'm talking about. There's work.
I love how you have such a formula set up for all of this, and it just shows the passion. So that's always amazing. But guys, I also want to shout out that Kiss is in the chat, man. And I actually have a lot to say when it comes to Kiss Kiss. So hang tight, guys, because we are about to get into all of that fun stuff. Right now, we're going to kick it off with the FOC selections of the week. Izzy, are you ready?
I hope so.
I know you are. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, it's time for the FOC selections of the week. And of course, by our brother Lefteros. So if you guys are not already following Lefteros over on Instagram, I suggest you do so. It's very simple. It's at Lefteros. Now, one thing I did notice online is when Lefteros does post his stuff on Instagram, a lot of people are like, hey, what about that book? What about this book? What about that book? Guys, that is just a teaser of what the entire list entails, which you can find over on Covrprice's website. So go check out the entire article over on Covrprice as well if you want to see the full selections, or come rock it every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, because we're going to dive right in. Now, if you like any of these books that we're going to talk about, it's simple. You could go visit comicnation.us if you live in the United States and you want to order any of these books. They give you 15% off of the cover price. Get an additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. And Canada, that's right, us up north right here, 20% off every single week with Comic Legion. And if it's your first order, use discount code Enlist. Again, it's comiclegion.ca. You can order any of these books. No one's telling you to order all those books. Please don't come at us. Just look, enjoy.
You better be a millionaire if you order all of them, man.
Yeah.
After a while, it gets expensive.
Yeah, dude. It's, you know what? The more the weeks pass, the more I realize I have a problem. And it is what it is. It is what it is. So to kick it off, guys, first book on the list, we have Absolute Batman issue 12. This is the cover A. It's going to give us the first cover appearance of Absolute Killer Croc. This title itself, I say it every time it passes FOC. We're now going to be 12 issues in. We're at 11 already that we've had the opportunity to read. There's this, the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. I put them hand in hand when it comes to every issue being a banger. There's always something. They always tease us, give us a little something to look forward to. And every issue has been amazing. So for myself, this is an absolute pickup for sure.
That cover by itself is worth the pickup. You know, it's like that nice tinted green that's going on there. We got our first cover of Killer Croc, this new version of Killer Croc. Absolute Batman, like you said, the ultimate lines, the absolute lines. It's almost as if Marvel and DC are trying to tell us, yeah, we're tired of that long history of these characters. Let's just break it down to their core essentials. And that's what you get from Ultimate Spider-Man. That's what you get from Ultimate Batman. I think with Ultimate Batman in particular, what's the story that Scott Snyder is telling us,
yep,
it's going to come up with this big conclusion, because that's kind of how he is, right? He likes to set up, he's really setting up a saga in a story. And that's something I've always liked. That's something that is sorely missed in comics these days, where you have stories. Yes, he has arcs here and there, but they all come together as one. And I think with Absolute Batman in general, and with the Killer Croc storyline that's coming up, I've missed a couple of issues. I'm a little behind on my comics lately, but I will say I still collect all the books, even if I don't get a chance to read them all. And usually I end up doing like some speed binge reading sometimes.
Hey, dude,
and I do that all the time.
That with television series as well. They'll wait for a full season to drop and binge it. So
even though I like month over month, I'm a big fan of month over month. I grew up reading comics that way. So I do like taking a break from a comic and just going away and just letting the information get into my head with the story. I like that part, but sometimes you just got to binge through it.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that. Now, I do want to highlight this because Lefteros is saying he doesn't want to spoil anything, but don't skip this issue. Something coming before Joker, and we know Joker is just around the corner, guys. Just a few more issues, you know.
Yeah.
Snyder's already given us several teasers throughout every issue almost, but
it's almost like someone read a copy already.
Yeah, well, Snyder himself has been pointing towards, I think it was issue 15. So something's coming prior to that. So definitely don't want to skip on this one. Now, up next, guys, we've got Batman and Robin, issue 25, first appearance and cover of Quiet Man. You got Philip Kennedy Johnson on this one. I'm totally off of the Batman and Robin stuff, but I put full faith in Lefteros. If you're a fan of this series, guys, this might be a good pickup.
I think when it comes to Philip Kennedy Johnson, he's probably one of the hardest working writers out there because not only he's doing Batman, we're going to be talking about another book that's going to be coming by later. Uh, his work is on point. He's doing the work. FICO is a tremendous artist. He's
Yep.
a great artist. I like when I see artists that are doing interiors as well, like the Dan Moras, the Nick Dragadas.
Oh yeah.
Those are the guys I have a little more respect. Nothing against the cover guys. I think the cover guys are who they are. But a guy that could do interiors, to me, as a sequential artist,
Oh yeah.
I want to give him love. I want to give him even more love because that's work. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, dude. It's a main reason why I'm a huge fan of Dan Mora at the moment, because seeing everything he's doing, whether it be covers or interiors, dude, the guy is just a machine, an
Yeah.
absolute machine.
It's something in that Brazilian water or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yep. Save us some, guys. That would be great. But yes, Batman and Robin 25 on the list this week. Up next, this is pretty cool, guys. I don't know if you saw this. Court, Children of the Round Table, #1. This is an all-new take on the Legend of Camelot. And yes, I actually did Knights of the Round Table when I was in high school, dude. We did a play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. I was actually one of the guys. I even forgot who I played, but all I remember is there being an action sequence on the stage, and I got flipped. And I landed flat on the stage, dude, and that shit hurt, dude. But it was worth it. It got a pop. You know what I mean? I felt like a wrestler for 4 seconds, and
you did your first and last bump of the night.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, yeah, props to the wrestlers. I don't know how they do what they do every single day, but what's pretty cool about this, look, Tom Taylor's behind this, so that's always exciting. Tom Taylor's just absolutely amazing. This looks like it's gonna appeal to more of a younger crowd, but I think it's worthy of a pickup. Don't be surprised if we see this in some kind of form down the line, man. An animated series or something, right?
You're absolutely right in saying that. So it's interesting when it comes to these kids or YA books and things like that. There's this level of longevity that comes along with them, because if you go all the way back to the Star comic books of the 80s, and those books are now, people are hunting them. Same thing could be said about these books. I think for something like this, it's targeted as a younger audience, and I'm all for that. If the way kids come into comics is you end up getting a reader for life that way. That's how I got into comics. Lando, I'm assuming that's how you got into comics. We didn't get into comics when we were in our 30s.
Nope.
We got into comics when we were a kid, and it was these comic books that sometimes you look at them now, like, you treat them like garbage. Then now we're talking about Masters of Universe going for almost $500. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So, though I don't think that's going to be the case with this one, I do believe there is some possibility for the future if it seems to be a successful hit.
Exactly, man. And yeah, Chia, this is exactly it, man. Getting broader readership. That's exactly what
this
we
is
want.
what you really want.
Yeah. And yeah, kiss. It seems everybody's on the same page. The Power Pack vibes is totally there.
Everybody loves Power Pack now.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I feel like nobody gave a shit for the longest
They did
time.
it. They did it. It was like, Power Pack, who cares?
Yep. But anyways, I think this is a great pickup on the list for this week. So shout out to Lefteros for this one. Now up next, guys, Incredible Hulk 29. This being the main cover, and the solicitation states that the origin of the mother of horrors is going to be revealed within this issue. Now, we know we don't have much time left when it comes to Incredible Hulk. We'll dive into that a little later in the hot topics, but big changes, big things are coming for the Hulk, and we're going to kick off an entirely new series with a different version of the Hulk. So it looks like all of those pieces are coming together as of here. Issue 29, issue 30. These two issues, guys, I encourage everybody to pick it up, especially if you're a fan of the Hulk. You can't go wrong here.
Yep. There goes that name again, Philip Kennedy Johnson. That's what I'm saying. He's one of the hardest working men in comics. And you know what? I don't even pick up Incredible Hulk, but there's been times I've been picking up those Nick Klein covers. Yeah. Because just look at the color pop in this.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing the amount of work this guy's pulling out with these covers. So
yeah,
I love it just for the covers alone. The Mothers of Horrors, I don't know much about it. Like I said, I'm not reading Incredible Hulk, but I have picked up a few issues just because of those covers. Especially that one that's like the face coming out of a face. You remember that
Yeah.
one? It came out a couple of months ago.
I
So
loved it, dude. Loved it. I love what Kiss Kiss is saying about the power pack stuff, saying that it's not that we didn't give a shit, it's just that we didn't want to admit we did. And yeah, I think that's more valid. That is way more valid.
maybe who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And hey, I see Steve Francis in the chat, man. Shout out to him, my good friend, dude. I've known you since like what, over a decade, and although you're 37, we all know at heart you're no older than 14, so it's good. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're
I
fine.
wish
dude.
I was 37. I can tell you that much.
Yep. But anyways, moving on from Hulk, guys, we have Skinbreaker issue number 1. This is to cover a new series about an heir to a tribe on the verge of collapse. Now, the main thing that has me sold on this, you have an insane duo here of Robert Kirkman and David Finch. You have this amazing cover A that's available. You've got this amazing 1 in 100. Of course, they had to bring in Utley for this one, which is absolutely sick. But this 1 in 1,000, dude, is absolutely nuts. And now, from what I've understood, is it's taken a long time for them to put this book together, like literally years. And apparently, Lefteros had the opportunity to see some of these interiors. And the detail within this book, when it comes to the art alone, is worth the price of admission. So for me, I'm sold. Totally picking up a cover.
I'm with you on this one. And I know there was an Ashcan edition that was out for San Diego for this one. You got David Finch, who is by far one of the best artists in the business. I can't even tell you how long he's been in the business now. He's been in the business for a very long time. Over 25 years in the business. So you got that. You got veteran artist David Finch doing it. And then you got a guy who created Invincible, Walking Dead, and now he's coming up with something new. It's worth checking out just for the sake of this could be the next big book. That again, Skinbreaker, completely new. What kind of story are we talking about? Looking like we're dealing with some jungle, some Native American Indian type of stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of time period this is? I don't know what it is. I'm just curious to see it.
And dude, another thing to add to this, it's a CGC graded foil virgin variant cover by David Finch. So
what's up with that? Is that like a first time? I never heard of a CGC graded foil coming in.
Here you go. Just take it. Grade it. It's done.
I know you don't want to read this, but it's a 1 in 1,000. Chances are you're not going to read it anyway. So here you go.
Yeah. Baker, we're gonna get into that in just a second when it comes to Kirkman with Void Rivals, because there's
that was a little. I'm gonna say that was a little different because there was some secrecy behind that one. But Kirkman doing original work is always worth checking out.
Yeah. Absolutely. JD, I don't know, man. I don't even know what the price tag is going to be for this. I don't know how many shops are even going to hit 1,000 copies.
Midtown Comics, Mile High Comics, and there you have it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I could see some others going for it, man. And one of those actually being Comic Legion, because Lefteros is wild. He's wild. Absolutely wild.
1,000 copies is a lot.
Yeah, but I'm definitely on board for this one. So this is a pickup for myself. The Twilight Zone issue number 1 is also making its way to FOC this week. This one being the cover A. We're getting a new anthology series featuring Twilight Zone stories by various creators, which is really fun because on this one, it seems that we have Dan Waters that's going to be working on this one. You got Morgan Beam. So it looks like I think every issue now, as we just said, is going to have various creators. So I like that. I like when we get some changes in between issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anthology series are always great, and an anthology series based on the Twilight Zone, and it decided to make it a black and white cover. I'm digging the grayscales here for this book. It's really cool. It's different. It is nostalgia, of course. It's nostalgia. Which is the company that's doing it? It's IDW. I can see it now.
Yeah, it's IDW.
I'm still not. I'm not sure about their new logo. It kind of freaks me. It's like ID.
I know.
Like I don't really necessarily get it, but all right.
I dove into that when they made the change. It kind of threw me off. It threw me off. It still does.
Like, where's the W? I want to know where's the W. It's like WWE. Where's the E?
Yeah. Get the F out. You remember when they came out with that slogan? Get the F out.
Yeah, and it took me a while to finally call them WWE. It took me a while to get rid of.
Of course it did. Of course it did. I remember walking into high school being like, "What is going on? I'm so mad. This is not enjoyable. I hate this."
They got beat by a panda bear. What's up with that?
Exactly. But man, I'm You know what I love, dude? Every week I connect with people to talk
Oh, I
comics,
see it
man.
now.
And it's no matter who is on every week, there's always a wrestling convo. I love how all
I can
comic
talk about
fans,
wrestling all day, bro.
dude, Taboo hopped on talking wrestling, man, just to show you. So
Okay,
yeah,
so left arrows, I give you props. You now show me where the W is at. It's like a DC Comics logo where the page turns. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It
yeah,
doesn't necessarily tell. That doesn't show me the W. It just, I get it now, and it's
yeah, I
yeah,
get it.
I get
I
it
did
now.
too.
I see it. I see it, and I still can't read it.
Nothing wrong with that, but guys, Twilight Zone #1 is on FOC. Now up next, Star Wars Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red #1. This is an anthology series as well. You got the first appearance of Tusk. If you're not a fan of Star Wars or Boba, if you're not a fan of any of this stuff, these covers alone are sick, man. You have a new miniseries here, of course. Benjamin Percy is taking the wheel here. And then look at this. Look at this 1 in
Ooh,
100 by Care Andrews, dude. I wish I had 1 in 100 money because
yeah.
this is stunning, dude.
Kari Andrews. It's a Star Wars. It's a first appearance. It's gonna be a spec book.
Yeah.
That's it. Whenever you have a first appearance in the Star Wars book, it's gonna be a spec book. And then with a Boba Fett with that kind of cover,
Yeah.
you're gonna be talking about that in the top 10 list.
At
Get
some
ready,
point,
get
yeah.
ready to talk. You might as well prepare yourself now because
Yeah.
you're gonna talk. I know I'm gonna end up talking about it. It's gonna happen.
Dude, I hope so. Because it totally deserves that kind of love and attention on the aftermarket. Hopefully, people could lock it down prior to that. But this cover is absolutely stunning. Letheros was saying as well how in the read it's kind of very old school Boba Fett, right?
Mhm.
Like the character himself it felt old school. So that's exciting. If you're a fan of that, I think you guys might really enjoy this. Like I said, for me, the covers have been worth the price of admission on at all costs.
Yeah.
They're all amazing.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, I love
Yeah.
seeing this on FOC this week.
And
Now,
and before you even move on,
yeah,
Benjamin Percy.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
you want Benjamin Percy doing a bounty hunter story? Come
Yeah,
on, his Spider-Man Predator book was insane.
it was, dude. It
You know what I
was.
mean? So I'll get it just because he wrote it, not even because it's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That's just the icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, dude, Percy's worked on so much amazing stuff. You can't go wrong, man. Like literally, you cannot go wrong. But yeah, moving on from the Star Wars stuff, we were talking Dan Mora, and here we have some wicked little covers when it comes to these corner box variants that are going on at DC at the moment. We've got Action Comics 1090, and then we have Supergirl issue #5. They're busting out of those chains, very a la Superman. I like
Very
this.
very Neil Adams
Yeah,
homages.
exactly, dude. Total Neil Adam vibes. It's funny because I don't know. There was something about these covers when I was looking at it. It kind of reminded me of the DC Sonic crossover for some reason.
Could it be the speed lines?
I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? I was looking at it. I'm like, could
Yeah.
it be that? Like something about it feels that way. But you get to the nod to classic Superman, Neil Adams, as you were saying. I think these are two nice covers. If you're a Dan Mora fan, not too bad.
Yeah, Dan Moore is always Dan Moore. I love his stuff. But to call them corner box covers is weird to me.
Yeah,
It's like you're just coming up with whatever you want to come up with. Like
literally.
like besides, DC's not even known for corner boxes. That's a
At all.
Marvel thing. They've done him. It's not to say they haven't done it, but the whole concept of a corner box is to be in the corner
Yes.
of the box.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pulling strings in my view. Or in this case, chains.
Yeah, Stan Swagger calling out the Superman Chuck Taylors right there. Yeah, I love that. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that. And he got them in the right side, too.
Yeah, love that.
Chuck Taylors have the logo inside the sneakers.
Yeah, amazing. But anyways, moving on from these Dan Mora covers, you've also got Dan Panosian, another one of my favorite artists right now, who has been grinding when it comes to just the Conan the Barbarian stuff. As you could see, the last couple of issues, he's been dropping some great covers, and that continues because We have the foil variant to the left, and then we have the straight up virgin variant to the right. Love me Dan Panosian stuff. I'm not the biggest foil guy, so I would go the virgin side. That's
Yeah.
me. That's me.
Yeah, I think when it comes to foils, it depends on the foil. So for me, when I see the foil is one of those things like I can't live without, then that's when it's a purchase. But I'm with you on certain foils. Some foils work it, some foils don't. I'm curious to see what a foil looks like this. Dan Panosian's one of those guys that I remember when he started way back in the day working for Extreme Studios under Rob Liefeld. He has grown as an artist. Like his stuff today, look at his stuff back in the 90s. Like a lot of people don't even know he goes that far back. But you look at his stuff in the 90s and you compare it to night and day, man. Night and day. He is a tremendous artist. I would love to see him do some interior work. I know he's been doing a lot of covers lately because he's a variant king these days. But I want to see him because he's one of those artists that he's a cover artist today that still tells a story in his covers, where some guys are, like we just saw the Dan Moores. And again, I love Dan Moore. He does a lot of interior, so I'm not knocking on Dan, but I'm using his example here that they're mostly pinups. If you could tell me a story in the cover, that's when I want to buy it.
Absolutely, dude. And there's so many books as such, right, where you can get the feel of what the story is going to be about. And I agree with you. So well said, nailed it on the head. I like these two covers, preferably the virgin over the foil for myself. Now up next, another stunning cover, the Tranuyan cover for Fantastic Four issue number 3. Love this. You got Sue right there. Very nice cover.
Yeah, and Roberto Ramos is doing the art for Fantastic Four. So you got a great cover artist here, but then you have also a veteran artist inside.
Exactly. Yep. Well said, dude. Well said. You can't go wrong. Fantastic Four has been pretty okay as well for the read, guys. So if you're into Fantastic Four stuff, I know it's not for everybody, but for myself, it's been pretty enjoyable so far. So
Ryan Dorf's been doing a pretty good job lately with the Fantastic Four.
Exactly, man. This is a pickup for me. Now, moving on. Magic issue 10. Yes. One thing I find myself saying every time Magic passes FOC is, guys, the covers alone are worth it. This is a cover selection this week, but the read has been great. I've been really enjoying it. You've got Simone Di Maio on this one. A beautiful cover. I put it up there as one of my favorite covers.
Oh, yeah. Simone is great. And Magic always seems to get some great cover artists. They even had like J. Scott Campbell doing the cover A's for these books. So, and they've always been hot books. So this would be no surprise. You know what I mean? And people have been digging Magic. They've been liking the story. She's quickly becoming a fan favorite. She's always been a fan favorite, but she's always been like a niche fan favorite. Now she's kind of like coming out really, and more people are liking her. She's becoming like one of the next best mutants that are out there. She's been around for a long time, and she's just a teenager now. But comic characters don't age, so
I feel like there's a lot that plays into it, whether it be cosplayers, whether it be like especially everything that's happening now video game wise. You had Marvel Rivals, Magic being a character that a lot of people loved using, and like you got familiar with this character. So again, Marvel's doing great when it comes to promoting and using such characters on mainstream platforms. So hopefully we see more Magic in the future. I know that this series is coming to a close very soon. But yeah, exactly. Leftero was saying that Magic issue number 1 has smashed cover price on the aftermarket, and it really has, dude. So it's amazing to see. Yeah, she's been a teen for 35
but keep
years.
in mind, so is Jubilee. There's only a few characters we know that has allowed to age, and that's Dick Grayson, Nightwing, and the other one is, oh my goodness, it's escaping me. Oh, Kitty Pryde. Those are the only two I could think of on the top of my head that have been allowed to age.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Magic's Magic, so maybe she is 35.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
something's keeping her young. But yeah, man, I love this. Great cover on FOC this week. Another wonderful cover here is a Dan Mora cover again for New History of the DC Universe issue 3. Love it. You got Flash at the forefront here, and Dan Mora doing Dan Mora things, man. I think this is a stunning cover.
Yep, you got Dan Mora, you got Dub Mackey, you got Dan Jurgens doing interiors on what's a cool approach to telling the story of DC Comics. What version of this is the 25th version of the new DC
Yeah,
Comics?
something like
Something
that.
like that, right? But I like how instead of being like a who's who type of thing, it's kind of like giving us some story around it rather than here's all the characters. It's kind of like giving us a briefing. And so it's more like, as it's called, history. It's like a historical book,
Yeah.
and you get to read it like that. So it's been a fun read.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think as well, totally worthy of a pickup in my books.
Mhm.
Another sick cover, guys. Chichetto. Let's talk Marco Chichetto for a second. Just a second. Here we have Phoenix issue 15. The cover that he has put together here for Phoenix is absolutely stunning. I thought, and I still think to this day, that of current artists that are out there, I'm talking current. I'm not talking Bagley and stuff like that. I'm talking like the guys that are really doing their stuff right now at the forefront for Marvel. Chichetto does by far one of the best Spider-Mans in years.
Oh yeah.
Um, and this depiction here of Phoenix, wow.
Mhm. I like what you mentioned there with Spider-Man, right? Because you have Spider-Man who's a grounded urban character, but then you have the space romp that is Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Chichetto's style to me is a very I like to call it scratchy in a way, but but it has finesse. And what you see in his work is a man who is clearly he knows what he's doing. Like he's talking to his pen. He's not just letting the pen do the work.
Nah,
He's
exactly.
telling the pen what to do. He's telling the pencil how to draw. For those of you who don't know, I am an artist, so I'm speaking like an artist, I guess. But it's like, what's up with this guy? Letting him speak to
Hey
a
man,
pen.
it's good.
But
It's good you
but
got the eye for it.
but that's the thing that makes his work stand out. And what's really nice about it is that it's stylized in a way that you when you see it you know it's him. There's just certain guys that you see his work and you're like, I know who's that. Mora, again, mentioned Mora has that in his style, that when you see a Mora you know it's Mora, and things like that. So there's something about their styles that really work. I'm a big fan of style. If you could give me a style, if you give me an artist that when I see that artist, I immediately know who it is, I'm sold.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Again, well said. For myself, this cover alone, totally worthy of a pickup. Love it. Phoenix 15. Up next, the Zulo covers. Yeah, man. We saw Zulo come out with this exact same cover for Crypto, and now we have Streaky the Super Cat.
Yep.
So this would look nice next to the other one if you could get them
You put
both
them together, man.
signed. Yeah,
So,
dude, these are cool.
some people are dog people, some people are cat people. So the cat people finally get their book with Streaky. Zulu, Greg Christy Zulu, what can I say? I saw her over the weekend during which Terrificon last
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lose track of all the cons I go to, man. I go to too many. You know what I mean? But I get to see her work and it's always fun. I love seeing these styles. I love seeing Zulu's work. Her husband is also he's a great artist as well. His name's escaping me as well, but come on, it's a cute cover, guys. It's just cute.
It's a pickup for me as well, man. This I got to pair it with the Crypto one, and like you said, Zulo is very easy to see and meet. Often at cons, you had the opportunity to meet Chrissy over at Terrificon, and I'm jealous because I should have been there.
I know, man. I asked you, man. I was like, you coming?
You know what? Hey, I think things happen for a reason. Because had I been at Terrificon last week's show with B Earl and Taboo, would have never happened. So
there
you
you
win
go.
some, you lose some.
Silver lining. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna even repeat that one. Chad, good one.
I love it. Moving on from this one, guys. The Alex Ross covers, those timeless covers, are still going. In fact, we now have Banshee making his way right here. Pretty cool. Dude, you know what? It's funny because I was looking at this and then I was thinking to myself, like, man, had I continued to try and collect these all, I'd be in well over $600 at this point.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I agree. Um, when I saw this one, all right, so Alex Ross is notorious for trying to make the most realistic kind of art, right? So his artwork is like a step away from being real.
Yeah.
And the fact that he made Banshee like a straight up Irishman, even because he's Scottish, actually. He's Scottishman. I'm sorry. Oh, Irishman, I'm sorry. Scottish. I could just see him saying, "Hey, what the-" I hear the accent coming out of the image. He got the hair, he got the sideburns. The only thing that's missing is the pipe, man.
Yeah,
I want the pipe.
Literally. You couldn't have said that any better, dude. Like,
I want the pipe. Like, he's holding it. I guarantee you, Alex Ross drew him holding a pipe. And
check Mark. Check what Mark's saying. Like, his hand's positioned to be holding that pipe.
It's positioned that way, so I guarantee you, Marvel made him take it off. That's what happened. It exists.
Yeah, you know what? I believe the story. You know what I mean?
No one just stands there like this.
Yeah, it checks out. It totally checks out, man. But Lefteros is bringing up a valid point, guys, that these are not being ordered anymore because people have started to tune out. So the orders are taking a big dive. So that kind of makes it tough for people to come across down the road, right? So if you're looking to collect them later on, it's going to be a little more difficult. As you can see, orders have been dropping. So just something to factor for Uncanny X-Men 21. This is the Banshee Timeless variant by Alex Ross. Up next, the video game stuff. We got Marvel Rivals, but of course, more stuff continues with the Mystic Mayhem stuff because we have Amazing Spider-Man issue 12. This is the Natese Games, the Marvel Mystic Mayhem variant. And then to the right side, you've got Incredible Hulk 29. We just spoke about that book. But again, you have Hulk on one side, you got Spidey on the other. Two monstrous characters when it comes to Marvel. The video game itself, I played it for a bit. I don't have time to play video games that much anymore, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
So when Marvel Rivals, the hype started for Marvel Rivals, I got the game. I even got a controller so I could play with it. I couldn't get past the tutorial. That's how bad I got
for Marvel Rivals.
For Marvel Rivals.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could understand.
What the hell am I doing here? Like, I've reached that point in my life where I'm an old man. So I have to admit I'm not feeling these covers so much because they feel like, for me, they feel like they're unfinished in some way. And I don't know what's going on with Spider-Man's costume. Is Spider-Man being Captain Marvel with that costume? It's very Captain Marvel.
It does feel that way. That way.
So, a new Spider-Man costume, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we've experienced
the Hulk one. The Hulk one, it just feels like it's unfinished. I think if it felt finished to me, I think it'll look cool. Like, I see where they're going for, and it's NetEase, so this is a game company's artwork. I don't even know who the actual artist is because NetEase is the company.
Yes, it is. It is the company. I believe it says on the covers at the bottom, if I'm not mistaken, but it's too small for me to be able to even read right now. But what's going on, Dan? Appreciate you being here. Two great covers. Again, if you're into the video game stuff, you might want to pick those up. We're getting closer to one big book that I can't wait to speak about. But
speak about video games.
Yeah, we're going to continue with some video games because DC Sonic the Hedgehog #1 goes to a 5th printing. And this one is Tails as Cyborg on the cover. These have been fun to collect. I'm down the rabbit hole already, so might as well just pick up the rest because I've already got. You got Shadow as, Batman. You got Sonic. You got.
But you're the reason why they go to 5th printing.
I get suckered into this stuff, dude. It's bad. But yeah, man, I gotta complete the set. Gotta pick this up. I like the Knuckles one where he's Superman. Like, they're really cool stuff. But yeah,
I like the Flash Sonic ones. Those are the ones I like. Flash and Sonic.
Chat, if you roast me,
or Sonic has Flash.
Yeah, dude, it's great. But chat, if you roast me, and you tell me, Lando, you're in the minority, it's cool. I accepted it long ago. I'll continue to pick these up.
It's cute. It's all right. It's okay. No hating.
That's fair.
No hating on it. It's cute. Not my cup of tea, but it's cute.
I love how you're calling my collecting habits cute, man.
Dude, someone's got to say it. It's Tails we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yes, a great book on FOC this week. Now, here is the one that I've been dying to talk about. Guys, Kiss Kiss is actually in the chat. And I'm not going to throw flowers just because Kiss Kiss is in the chat. The reason why I want to say this is because I personally believe this is an absolute sneaky book on FOC where you have Steak Presents Jessamy. Is it Jessamy? Number 1. You got LCSD Kiss Kiss variant. Now, Kiss Kiss, guys, you're probably asking yourself, who's Kiss Kiss? This is going to be the first book by Kiss Kiss where it's being published. So I think this is totally worthy of a pickup. You know, oftentimes I find myself talking over on Covrprice, whether it be the top 10s, whether it be the shakers. We see artists who have done so well. And let's just look at the most recent times, okay? Here's a perfect example. We had Mark Spears. Now we've got Shubina. We've got a lot of these artists that are doing so well. And people are seeking their first published works and stuff like that. This cover, in my opinion, is absolutely stunning. I think it goes in the category of probably the best cover on FOC. That's me. It's okay if nobody agrees. Hey, man, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But for me, I think this is one of the most sneaky books on the chat, on the list this week. Totally worthy of a pickup. I'm gonna be ordering a few of these on FOC because I strongly believe in this book.
Yeah, and this is the first time I actually get to see a Kiss Kiss, and I just see Kiss Kiss right there in the chat. Dude, this is killer.
Yeah.
This is absolutely killer.
Yeah.
It gives me, if you remember Cross Gen, the company.
Yes.
It's giving me some Cross Gen vibes into it in its style. So like early Greg Land stuff and stuff like that. That's so, I don't even know. I'm not even sure if I know that's a sword or not, because, you know, the black and whites are kind of a little challenging to see from this small window. But dude, this is gorgeous, man. I'm digging this, man.
Yeah. Now, some things I want to point out. Yes, David Byron's in the chat, who is also behind the story on this book. So shout out to David Byron. Thank you so much for being here as well. But you know, for the sake of read, I'm excited to pick this up. When it comes to the cover art, I think the cover art is stunning. But one thing that Kiss Kiss is saying within the chat, and it's something that I noticed as well. Wait till you guys see all 3 covers. So there's more covers to this as well. This book right here, being on FOC, there's this cover, but I didn't see the other ones. Now, when I was doing my homework, I did see that there's also a colored version, which is absolutely stunning as well.
Yeah.
And I did not see a third one yet. So I hope that we get the opportunity to see that sometime real soon. But for myself, I am a strong believer in this one. I think this is definitely worthy of a pickup. I encourage everybody to just take a glance at this and really think of the stuff I told you, because I think this is just the beginning for Kiss Kiss. And if you go check out Kiss Kiss over on Instagram, when it comes to the work, absolutely stunning work. Look at this. You, Izzy, just finished saying earlier in the show that you are also an artist. So yes, I'm sure you have an appreciation here.
Oh, I definitely do. Like I said, it reminded me of early cross-gen comic books when they first came out. I see that early, you know, Greg Land work. I love good line work. So, and I love black and white. I'm a huge fan of black and white art. You know, comic books that are black and white are something that I really enjoy. Nothing against colorists. We have some of the best colorists in the business, but sometimes when you get to see the raw work, you have this level of appreciation for it, that it shows the amount of love and detail that the artist put into it, whether it's pencil work, whether it's pencils with inks, or just go straight to, you know, pencils to colors. It is something that you got to see. And like you mentioned 2 guys, Mark Spears, and you mentioned Shabina, 2 people that have been around for a while. They're getting notoriety now, but they've been around. Both of them have been around for quite some time. I think it's always great seeing new talent out there and giving them the love that they need, because we got to encourage them, because these are the next guys. Like, I come from a background of, my favorite artist is Arthur Adams, and I used to collect Arthur Adams comics. Then I was a huge fan of Todd McFarlane, and I picked up Todd McFarlane. Then I got Mark Bagley, and it just kept going on and on. and every one of them has a different style, but at the same time you have this appreciation for art, because comic books is an art medium. The story is important, and I think the story keeps us on our toes.
Yeah.
But when you get a comic book, the first thing you see is the art. You don't see the written work.
No, you don't.
You then appreciate it when they are able to tell that story through that art, because that's when you have a good artist, that they're able to tell the story. And this is a gorgeous piece, man. So shout out to Kiss Kiss. I would love to see more stuff, Kiss Kiss. So send me your IG, and I'm gonna definitely follow you from there.
Yeah, dude, it's been dropped in the chat. So I see people here saying that they're now following. Some people pre-ordered, so good for you guys, man. I never ever push books. You know that. I don't come on here saying, hey guys, I said I want you to order anything. I'm not telling you to do that, but if I could really encourage on any of the books this week, I really think that there is a good future for Kiss Kiss as an artist. Guys, when it comes to David Byrne, there's other titles too that have been written by David. Like if you go check out, I don't know if you guys remember Cancelled, man, that creepy book with the clown and stuff like that. That was pretty damn good too, man. And I think.
I'm seeing the color piece right now. Dang.
Yeah. But dude, I think Cancelled.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts, right?
Oh my god! If you guys go to his IG, you're gonna see the colors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's stunning, dude. So go check out the Instagram page. I highly encourage everybody to do that. But I'm excited. I think this is a great duo. I'm really excited to see what Kiss Kiss brings more to the, to us collectors. Dude, I'm a huge fan out the gate seeing this. This is the first time I come across Kiss Kiss. Just followed Kiss Kiss as well earlier today. Yeah. And yeah, man, I think the future is looking bright. So looking forward to this pickup. Guys, FOC is where you pick up your books at the cheapest. So this is your time to do so. Don't get caught later on and get bit by FOMO. But one thing we do want to say as well, Kiss Kiss dropping this information in the chat, is Kiss Kiss is saying, you guys hang on to these copies. Make sure you have them, because they're going to be doing a giveaway for original artwork if you have this issue. So if you order this issue, it looks like Kiss Kiss is going to be doing a giveaway with David. So that being said, hell yeah, I will hold on to every single copy. I am not flipping any of those. I want to make sure I can get one of those.
Yeah, I usually don't flip copies like this either, so.
Exactly. So yeah, sorry we spent a little bit of time on that one, but just wanted to make sure you guys got all the information, because again, I still think this is definitely worthy of a pickup. So happy to see that the chat agrees. Happy to see Kiss Kiss and David here, and I'm happy to see that you guys love this as much as I do. And I saw some orders, some people saying they ordered it. So don't forget, hold on to those copies, because Kiss Kiss is doing some awesome things, and this is just the beginning, guys. So hang tight, enjoy the ride. All right. Let's keep it rolling, because up next we have Supergirl issue number 5. This one is the 1 in 25 incentive. You got Supergirl in crypto, cover depiction by Adriana? Sorry,
Adriana Mello.
Yeah, Adriana Mello. I like this. You got Supergirl, you got crypto. Everybody high on Supergirl and crypto, especially after watching Superman. And beautiful 1 in 25.
It is nice. It's a nice one. It's a fun cover. It's a 1 in 25 incentive. I'll probably pass on it, because one, I'm not going to spend money on a 1 in 25. It's hard for me to do that unless I really, really want it. But I think the art is good. I like the image. It's, classic style artwork where they're on top of, some construction site, it looks like.
Yep.
So
I like it.
Good stuff.
Very nice cover. So that's available. And then with this inevitable situation.
This is one that might change my mind.
Yeah. Captain America issue 2, the 1 in 25 incentive. Of course, with John Tyler Christopher, we had this without the stars behind him on the first print. And now it is a 1 in 25 incentive with the inclusion of the stars. America, baby. Yeah. I think
so. Dare I say, the inclusion of the stars makes it even better.
Good call.
It does. Because now there's like form into it. And, John Tyler Christopher's, negative space work is on a plane of itself, man, honestly. But just throwing that nice little stars and stripes. This is framed work, man.
Yep.
This is work you frame.
Yeah, man. You know what? It works. John Tyler Christopher has a habit of doing this, guys. And here's a perfect example. I don't know if you remember the Thanos negative space. And then we switched, and they added a different background, the Captain Marvel one as well. Remember, they added like the cosmic background, whatever. Like, it works. You know what I mean? And I think this one, it works. And I agree with you. The stars actually make it look better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good pickup as well. 1 in 25 incentive. Up next, the big book, guys. Transformers issue 24. Why is this a big book? Well, we have the final issue within the Transformers run that, unfortunately, but yet it's bittersweet, guys, because Daniel Warren Johnson is now stepping away, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping away. No longer going to be writing Transformers. The solicitation states there will be a shocking ending within this issue. I am huge on the Energon universe. I've been anticipating this. Now it's here. So I'm excited, but at the same time, like I said, bittersweet. We've got Kirkman hopping on, man. So this is going to be good times. You got Dan Mora as well. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, 2 years doing a story that just has been top level month over month. That's what Daniel Warren Johnson did. And, they got Jorge Corona to do the artwork. So Daniel Warren Johnson could probably work on other things while he does the writing. I am so looking forward to this final story and where it's going to take us. I am missing Bumblebee still, which I have a feeling Kirkman might make some changes here. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there in my head. And that's just me speculating on that part. But I think... I don't know if Optimus is going to die. I'm sorry about that one. I don't think Optimus is going anywhere, but I do believe we're going to get somebody's going to go bye-bye.
Maybe at the hands of Bumblebee showing up and doing some nonsense.
Imagine that.
That would be fatal, dude. But who knows, man? I'm excited for this. Like I said, it's bittersweet because I think Daniel Warren Johnson gave us 24 banger issues. Now stepping away, we're bringing in Kirkman, Dan Mora. I'm okay with that. Let's go. Totally picking this one up. Now, another one that I'm super excited about, guys. Department of Truth 0. That's right. It's the 5th anniversary issue. Could you imagine that, dude? Department of Truth, 5 years already. Crazy.
It is crazy.
Crazy.
It's even more crazy to think how long ago 5 years was, that it feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah, dude. Man, I remember coming across Department of Truth within the pandemic and going nuts for it. I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing, right? And here we are now. We're going to have a secret history of Elvis Presley backup story. I am a huge fan of Elvis Presley, so I am totally sold. I'm picking this one up.
Yeah.
This on FOC, yes, can't believe this is all just one FOC. Very sad how we're at 27 of 36 slides, just so you guys know. It's a big FOC, but you have the story being written by you got Tynion, but you also have Scott Snyder, and
that's the thing that stood out to me.
First time that anyone else is writing Department of Truth.
So that got me intrigued, seeing Scott Snyder, because if you go back to some of his other indie books, this kind of stuff is around his lane too. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? And like there's what is it? Undiscovered Country. Pretty much going towards his lane. So and Snyder's doing the Elvis story, so I'm curious. Yeah. You got me. Yeah. There's curiosity.
Absolutely, man. Kiss. Thank you so much. Go take care of business. He's working on Zenoscope, so
I like that one. It's like, hey guys, I gotta go, but I'm doing drawing right now, so let me just go.
But yeah, man, thank you for stopping by. Thank you, David, as well, man. It really meant a lot. And anytime you guys want to hop on, you're more than welcome to come and talk more. I'd love to hear more about your journey and future plans. So yeah, absolutely appreciate it. I followed. I'm totally on board.
Man, hit me up, man. We could definitely talk, man. I don't normally do interviews, but there are people I would make an exception to. And looking at the artwork you got, I think it's time that your IG starts blowing up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I want the best for them both. So absolutely. But yes, back to Department of Truth. We said Elvis, dude, look at the 1 in 50 incentive.
I saw that one.
Paying homage to the first issue right there. I love this. And you got Elvis. This 1 in 50 might be an incentive I would absolutely gun for. I would
1 in
gun for this.
50 is high though. So I'm curious what the price tag is gonna be for the 1 in 50, man.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm hoping it's not gonna be too crazy
You
because
got an
I do love
Elvis
some Malcolm.
cover too.
Yeah,
Woohoo! Yep.
it's big.
Again, I say it again. Spec book. It's gonna be a trending book.
Oh, absolutely, dude. You remember the Marilyn Monroe one? That did well as well. So,
But an Elvis fan base
yeah.
gets to find out that an Elvis comic book, Elvis is in the cover of a comic book.
Yep. So
Oh, forget it. That book's gonna be gone.
money's gonzo. Yeah, book is gonzo. All of it's
Mhm,
gonzo. And I think this is definitely a book I'll try to chase for sure.
mhm,
So Comic Legion, let's talk. But anyways,
mhm.
moving on from this one. Dude, Red Hood. Yes, talk to me. Let's go. Cover A right here. Ongoing Red Hood series for mature readers. Yes, I like this. Let's go.
So he's
Dude,
gonna go full Punisher now.
probably, yeah, that's what it seems like. It's apparently very wild within the book, from what I understood from Lefteros. Now, if you're not a fan of Red Hood, well, guess what, man? You definitely want to buy these covers. I saw JD in the chat. I hope he's still rocking with us because check this Delato. I know he's a
Yeah,
big
the
Delato
Delato.
fan. Dude, this Delato cover alone, take my money. I'm buying this 100%. 100%.
Red Hood is one of those characters because everyone hated Jason Todd. Everybody hated Jason Todd. And then when we get Red Hood, we're like, oh no, we really love Jason Todd now.
Yeah.
You know, all it took was him dying and coming back to life
Yeah.
to make you love him.
There you go. JD saying, shut up and take my money. I feel the exact same way. Izzy, you're right. Because, yes, it's funny you bring up his death because look at this 1 in 50.
Yeah, I saw that, the
incentive.
Jim Lee cover.
Yeah, dude. It's
In
so
case you
sick.
forgot how much you hated me as Robin.
Yeah, I'd love to get this signed by Jim Lee. Like, if I could get this, oh,
Mhm.
it would be amazing.
Jim Lee's coming out here to, I think he's going to New York. I think he's also going to Baltimore, but he's actually going to do one of our local shows.
Wow.
Which is pretty. That's where I think getting a good Jim Lee signature is going to come from.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah, dude.
shout out to my guys at Elite Comic Expo. So that's all the way in a year from now. So, but he's going to be coming out here for that show, which is one of our local shows here in New York. So
That's good. It's good to know. It gives you time to stash this.
I think they're selling tickets already for that show. If you guys want to look it up. Look up Elite Comic Expo. And I think they're selling tickets for that show already, and it's next year.
Wild.
So.
Absolutely wild, man. But yeah, dude, I love this Jim Lee cover. I'm super looking forward to seeing Red Hood now.
Mhm.
So this for myself, it's a grab. This FOC sucks for us because yeah, I'm spending money, man. It sucks, dude.
I'm trying to get ready for New York Comic Con, and they don't let me. That's my problem.
Exactly, man. Exactly. The more I try to buy back issues, I find myself with these, and it is what it is. But anyways, moving on from Red Hood, guys, the book that had people talking was Ultimate Spider-Man issue 19, that now is going to a second printing. We have the first full appearance and cover now of Earth 6160's Venom, which is Richard Parker. This moment was monstrous when it took place within the issue. How it happened was just amazing. Venom taking full control over Richard Parker and handling business the way Venom does. And my God, this was just awesome. I, again, spoke highly about Chichetto earlier. Again, Chichetto just amazing on all aspects when it comes to everything that's happening with Ultimate Spider-Man. He just keeps blowing my mind, dude.
Yeah, he's doing something here with Venom that I haven't seen in a long time, and that's making Venom look scary.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, this Venom scares me.
Yeah.
And that's great. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. And again, it's Ultimate Spider-Man. What Hickman's doing, this is one of those very, say what you want to say about Hickman, but this is one of those books that he actually stood for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
He
Exactly.
stood for this one. So I'm happy that he stood for one of these books and didn't leave yet.
I love it. Yeah, dude. I'm sad that it's going to come to a close as of issue 24, but yeah, man, I'm enjoying the ride while it's still here. And I strongly have faith in Richard Parker. I keep talking about this every week. So I hope people are starting to understand And yeah, you might want to pick these up. I think long term, this could come back into play. And there's also the 1 in 25 incentive as well. For it was the Trad Moore cover that was available on as a first print. Marvel making it a virgin for the second print, which does not shock me one bit. But yeah,
Marvel doesn't like money.
yeah, exactly. It is what it is, but still a wonderful cover. I think it's a really nice cover. Up next, though, guys, speaking Venom, this is the moment that everybody's been waiting for when you were reading some Donny Cates Venom. Oh, yeah, we all remember that. Venom was the bomb. It was the talk of town for the longest time. And it's because we had great reads.
I am intrigued where Al Ewing's going to take this story. Because, like most people, I am not a fan of this Mary Jane Venom.
Yep.
Not a fan of this. No shows up. I'm interested.
Yeah, Null is back, baby. And it's going to happen as a Venom 250. That's right. So this is the 250th issue. And as you said, you got Al Ewing on this, man. Charles Soule doing amazing stuff as well. So again, now we got Null coming back. I think I don't need to say anything else because since his demise in King in Black, we haven't seen Null. We haven't heard much. We've got little tidbits leading up to this moment, and here we are. So
it's almost kind of like an homage there. It kind of looks a little. It's not a 1-for-1 homage, but it's giving me the 316 vibes.
Yeah,
with
I see
with
it.
that look. You see it?
I see it. Different angle for sure. But yeah, man, I think it's great. There's a lot of great covers. A lot of great covers when it comes to this, especially this 1 in 100 incentive, dude. Love this, man. I think Ji Young Lee did a great job. Great job with this one. Reminds me, there was a Delato exclusive for I think it was an ASM book or a Venom book. It was Venom. And it's very similar, just that behind him, it's all black. You know how Delato does his stuff. He's not really on like the top of a building or whatever. Still, really neat.
To me, it's a nice cover. Is it worth a 1 in 100? That's for you to decide.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I think, Ji Hunt Lee is a great artist. But am I going to cough up that kind of money for this cover? Probably not.
Yeah.
Besides, with all the other books you got to deal with as well. So if there's one, I'm going to have to say, you know what? I like it. It's pretty. See you later.
Yeah, well, it's also available as a trade, but one cover that is not on the list tonight that I do want to share with you guys and show you is actually the 1 in 25, man, which is just absolutely sick. Look at that with Null in the background, dude. I love this so much. So much.
Who did this one again?
Opinia?
Jerome?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like the little heads. Dude.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it adds a nice little touch. Null in the background looking very, very scary.
And is that old school Venom running from him?
It looked like it.
Right?
Like it, yeah.
Openia made an old school Venom, even though we don't have that Venom right now. I just love seeing things like that, where it's like, yeah, I'm not drawing that Venom. I'm drawing this Venom.
Yep. But again, lots of great options when it comes to the Venom 250, and it's going to be a big issue, especially with Null returning. Now, guys, we finally made it through the FOC portion of the show.
It's only been an hour.
Yeah, that's about it. If you guys liked any of these books, don't forget, if you live in the United States, go visit comicnation.us. They give you 15% off of the cover price, but an additional 5 if you use discount code Black Crown. Canada, you got comiclegion.ca, 20% off every single week on the FOC pre-order books, but get an additional 5% off if it's your first order by using discount code Enlist. I'm at cover price. Lefteros is at cover price. Izzy's at cover price. Guys, lots of cool things happen at cover price, but I'm not one of those cool things.
I'm very honest. I look at cover price every single day.
Me too. It's bad.
Not just because I work with them, but because when I go to the cons, I actually want to make sure I have the right deals. And you know what? I went to Terrificon and there was a couple of people I passed them up because they were asking for way too much of a book. I was like, they were saying, "Hey, I want 50 for this book." And I'm like, the book's 25.
Yeah.
And you got to think smart. If you're gonna buy books, you got to think smart.
Yeah, dude. And one thing I always say about Covrprice is that it's non-biased, dude. There's nothing to it. There's no neck in the game when it comes to the aftermarket. They are just presenting the data, and that's all that matters. And that's what
Hmm.
I appreciate. You know, there's they're non-biased. They're not pushing anything. They're doing their
Hmm.
thing by just bringing us the information as collectors. So I highly appreciate that. If you guys want to go check out Covrprice,
Hmm.
again, it's coverprice.com. On the YouTube side, you can find myself there, top 10 and the Covrprice Shakers every week, Tuesdays, Thursdays. But keep an eye out for Izzy, who's dropping some incredible videos over at Covrprice, looking at some reflectives going back to years where we see books that have popped and how they're doing now. And
Hmm.
his editing skills, well, Jesus, he belongs in Hollywood.
I appreciate that, but I will butcher names from time and time again because that's just the nature of the beast.
Oh, dude. Dude, I'm Canadian from Montreal with Italian background. So imagine me pronouncing names. It's
I'm a
horrific.
Puerto Rican from the Bronx. What do you think?
I love it. But guys, if it's your first time hanging out here as well, don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, man. And we hope to see you back next week. But all right, Izzy, we made it through, man. We made it through the FOC.
All right, I'm
Now,
going home now.
the rest of the stuff. The rest of the stuff.
This is the part that we love talking about. We're gonna have discussions in. So there's a
Oh,
lot to
yeah.
talk about. I know that much.
Brace yourself, boys and girls. Izzy, are you ready?
I'm ready, bro. Let's do
Let's
this.
get into the market.
Oh, you got.
Oh yeah, it's the market report, the stuff that Izzy loves doing, I love doing. We all love talking about books that sell on the aftermarket. Now,
I look at all those guys.
yeah, dude, that's exactly it. So, like myself, Izzy does the same. I check out all the lists, whether it be House of Stein, CBSI, Key Collector,
Mhm.
Covrprice, Go Collect, checking sales on eBay. If you have an Instagram and you are posting recent sales that maybe someone forgot to, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, I try to follow as many people who like that part of the hobby as much as I do. But most importantly, the Baker Shakers. That's right. Michael Baker hits me up every single day telling me about books that sold on the aftermarket. So he gets his own portion of the show, and we labeled it the Baker Shakers. There you go. So let's check them out. First book on the list, we have Simpsons Comics number 1, 1993 is where we're going back to with this one. It's the 1/95 barcode edition, CGC 98 selling for $1,124 US. It is the highest sale recorded to date over on Covrprice, and that made it a Covrprice daily shaker. As you can see at the bottom right of the photo, you got that little corner of Bart Simpson's head where you can
Mhm.
see one eye. And yeah, those are the barcodes, guys. Those are very hard to come across, right?
Mhm. So my question for you is this: so you mentioned the barcode editions are hard to find. Why? What was it about it that was, I guess you could say, the exclusivity behind it? Because we are talking about 1993 here, so this is a long time ago, where comics at that time was produced at massive quantities. So I take it this one wasn't. So this is the epitome of what an incentive looks like, the epitome of a ratio or something like that. Can you tell me a little bit more about that you know about?
So the barcodes, they were basically certain books from The Simpsons, etc. I think there was even Bartman, if I'm not mistaken. But they
Mhm.
all had like a piece of the barcode, which you could kind of put together at the end. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. So it was like a puzzle piece type of thing.
Yeah, but they were very, very scarce, like harder to come across. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And that's what makes them harder to find, obviously, out there because there's lesser of them. Simpsons comics, guys, in a CGC 98 in a regular direct, you know it's going for like a fourth of this price. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't even come close. But the barcode itself, very difficult to find, especially when it comes to these high grades in a 9.8. I'm uncertain if this was even the same copy that just recently sold not too long ago, but a
Mhm.
CGC 9.8 selling at $1,100 plus is absolutely insane. It's very impressive to see. Highest sale recorded to date, man. And Izzy, like I said, there's other books out there as well when it comes to The Simpsons that I
Mhm.
can't remember off the top of my head which issues they were. And Bartman, I think, was one of them. But yeah, dude, it's wild.
Yeah. You got yourself a awesome homage to Fantastic Four. So proper timing, obviously coming out of the movie here, and The Simpsons. They've been discussed lately. There've been talks about The Simpsons. Like I know Matt Groening
Oh,
went on
there's
the
another one.
record.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Groening was on the record saying that The Simpsons is going to keep going until the voice actor starts passing away. So we don't know how long that's gonna be. So that's gonna be crazy. To think. Yeah, I was thinking about Radioactive Man myself. And the Bongo comics were very interesting back in the early 90s because if I remember, Bongo Comics only produced Simpsons, likeness comics. I don't remember them doing anything outside of Simpson related material.
Yep.
And in 93, we're talking about the time when Image just came out. There was an excess of comic books. To have something rare is crazy. And I don't even know, like I said, this is the first time I really hear about the barcode. And I've been collecting comics since even earlier than 93. This is the kind of stuff that I would have read in Wizard magazine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was in that Wizard magazine. So now that they're starting to become more in a thing, I think we'll start seeing more of them pop up. And
yeah, dude,
these high sales are going to be crazy.
Yeah, I've seen some sales and reported some sales here over on the show within, the 103 episodes. And it's crazy to see how gradually they're starting to go higher and higher. This one now having a top sale. Guys, The Simpsons Comics #1, CGC 98, $1,124 US for, this book is incredible to see. Mind blowing. Highest sale recorded to date. Cover price Daily Shaker. Now, Izzy, look at this next book. We spoke about it.
This. Yeah, we talked about this one.
Yeah, we also noticed a slight hiccup, so thank you because you caught that. But originally, when reported, the Amy Coney Girls #1 from 2012. This is the 1-in-25 ratio cover by Dustin Nguyen, not the cover price, but the Ron Year Mint. Sold for $154 US. Cover price Daily Shaker, highest to date over on the Cover Price website. And what's interesting about this, dude, look, I've opened the book to see what it was about, and it didn't appeal to me. It's very I think they were attempting some anime style
with that title, possibly.
Yeah, but still a very, very nice cover.
The cover says a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
It's the star that's intriguing me, to be honest with you. And how can you even make that how can you fight in that kind of costume? I'm just thinking to myself, her battles with villains are like, she wins just for the costume. All they gotta do is, oh yeah, you got me.
Yeah. Cliff, I'm not surprised. He says he owns the whole series.
Why am I not surprised?
Yep. Exactly.
Cliff, you got to tell me what's this book all about, because this is really the first time I hear about this book. I mentioned earlier about logos. I cannot stand that DC,
the DC logo. Yep.
Ooh, that's an ugly logo.
Yeah, nothing beats the original, in my opinion.
Well, the bullet's the best one, of course. And, I even like the other ones because there's some nostalgic to it. But, man, I hate that peeling page crap.
Yep. But, again, it is a stunning cover. The read wasn't entirely for me. I'm happy that Cliff really enjoyed it. So I'll let him give it to you more passionately. But, again, you got the Amy Coney Girls #1 2012 1-in-25 ratio by Dustin Nguyen. Ron Year Mint, $154. Not too shabby for a 1-in-25 ratio from 2012, man, on the aftermarket. So good.
So that's the real battle. That's what we need to have a poll. Which one's better, the IDW new logo or the DC Comics? I think the IDW logo is just poorly designed. I think the DC Comics logo is ugly.
So, yeah, Izzy, I expect to see that poll on your YouTube by tomorrow.
We're going to put a poll up which logo's better.
Yeah, put it on your YouTube tomorrow. I'll come vote.
We'll find out. I'm going to have to start looking at other logos to see if there's other company logos that are pretty bad.
Oh, there's some shitty ones out there. Yeah. I'll throw you some names afterwards. But, yeah, man. Let's move on from this book, because up next, guys, this one is pretty interesting. You got Secret Wars issue 10. Mm-hmm. This one being from 1985. It's the Marvel UK. And this one, the title changes because prior to this was the Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, all of that jazz. And then as of issue 10, it became solely Secret Wars. CGC 98 for 221. Sorry, Marvel Superheroes. $221 US. It is a Cover Price Daily Shaker highest sale recorded to date. Yes, it is a foreign book alert, Michael Baker. And I think these are awesome, dude, because I went down the rabbit hole and looked at all the other covers that were available for this. And dude, this goes on and on. Like the covers are just, you get banger after banger. It doesn't stop, man.
This is one that I'm looking at it too. I'm like, yeah, let's just do the advertisement in the front with it. Now, what's the deal with the airplane? Like, I get the cornflakes competition, but then you got an airplane here that's just there.
So it had something, I guess maybe it was a competition where you could win something related to maybe
a trip somewhere, a trip to Battle Worlds or something like that.
I have no idea what the competition within it actually entailed, dude. I have absolutely no idea. But the Secret Wars UK
British
stuff,
guys, man, what are you thinking?
the UK stuff was actually really, really cool, man.
I love UK books. You know, there's some really good ones. The Pences are also fun to look at sometimes. This one's an odd one with the cornflakes competition part to it.
Yeah. And again, I can't stress it enough. The more you look at these covers that were available back in the day for this, again, we're going back to 1985. Even the issue 1, yes, it was, you know, you have an entire box border going around the regular cover that we have for the issue 1, but the other issues bring forth some new covers that, you know, I've never seen before. So it was very interesting to see the sale, and it took me down a rabbit hole because I began looking at all the other ones, and this went till like I think it changes as of issue 10, and then it goes to issue 31.
Wow.
So I want to know, you know, what's going on within these. I believe there's more printing. I think it covers like Secret Wars 1, Secret Wars 2, and stuff like that. But still, dude, very, very cool. If you want, here, look, I'll even show you guys very quickly because I don't want to take up too much time when it comes to this particular book, but showing you guys again, just very fast. Look at some of these cool covers here. I'm going to make this a little more easier for you guys.
Oh, wow.
So here, look. We're going now to issue 30. I got blown away just looking at, like, here's issue 10. You got issue 11. Nice
lizard cover.
Right? Like, tell me this doesn't look awesome, man.
It's crazy.
Obviously, the classic.
Yeah, we know that one. Super Spider-Woman.
Yeah, man.
That was, like, that's almost painted, like.
Yeah, right? Doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah.
She-Hulk Finest Hour just came to an end. There's just so
that's crazy looking.
Yeah, dude, I swear to God, I went down a complete rabbit hole. I was looking at all these. I'm like, man, I gotta find a way to get these. And here's a great alternative.
Here's Hands. 20. What issue is Jazz Hands?
So this issue here is issue 17. So this is a great alternative, in my opinion, right? If you like the cover,
I bet you even that one's expensive.
I
bet.
I gotta find out because
I'm gonna go to Cover Price myself. While you do that, I'm gonna go to Cover Price.
Look at this! What is this Zoid? Look at this Zoid! Wild. And like I said, guys, it's a complete rabbit hole. So yeah, man, I was looking at all these.
What's that again? Secret Wars, what? 18?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just gonna figure out to see if it made it to Cover Price. This might be a little challenging.
Or hold on, you're talking about the Jazz Hands, right?
Yeah, Jazz Hands. I found the
17,
UK book. It's 17, so I found 18. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna find out. It's like there's no pricing for some of them.
So fun.
So the Jazz Hands, $10.
Yeah, great alternative, guys. Great alternatives, man.
$10. The most common is a raw, very fine for $39. There's not even there's only 2 recorded sales, and one was $39 and the other one was $10.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's so fun to go down this rabbit hole. Like I said, good alternatives in my opinion. If you're just a fan of these covers, you want to display them, man.
I like how this one's $220 and the Jazz Hand is only $10. What's up with that?
Yeah. But again, CGC 98s, I don't know how many of these are out there, so that plays factor. Because guys, Secret Wars issue 10, the Marvel UK from 1985. CGC 98 $221. Moving on from that though, Delato JD. I made sure to put this on the list just for you because Return of Wolverine issue number 1 takes us back to 2018. This cover by Delato. Nobody cares about the first appearance on this one when it comes to Persephone, but we've got CGC 98 $150. Highest sale recorded to date on the Cover Price Daily Shaker list. I have never seen this Delato cover until I saw it on Cover Price.
That's a nice little auto cover. And then we got the classic border top part with the Marvel Comics logo. See, now that's a logo that's simplistic. It's not really much of a logo, you know, but it has history to it, which makes it nice.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think this is a cool book to have in the collection. And yeah, it's very interesting to see $150 for this one. Return of Wolverine, number 1, guys. There you go. Yeah, I did say Persephone. I blew it.
Want me to say it says Persephone?
I blew it.
I don't think anybody cares about Persephone.
I don't know. You want me to give it some Italian flavor? Some Persephone.
Persephone. Like, what kind of? This is when you knew you're running out of good names.
Persephone. There you go. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When you name your character Persephone, you know you have reached the point of no return with these names.
That's where we're at.
We're at the point that we cannot come up with good names anymore. So we just say Persephone.
We're just terrible at pronunciation. But anyways, guys.
Persephone.
Yeah, I love how you're still trying. You just see 98 $150 for this amazing Delato. Now moving on, guys. Halloween's creeping up on us, and Terrifier number 1 just had a big sale because we're going back to 2021. Steve McGinnis on this one for story and art. There's only 13 CGC 98s on the census of this book. Those black borders on this book make it nearly impossible to probably get that 98. CGC 98 just sold for $1,500. Cover Price Daily Shaker, highest sale recorded to date. Booyah. Love this.
Terrifier is one of those cult movies because it's a cult movie that just every time a new movie comes out, the fan base goes out to it. You know, I'm not much of a horror guy, but this cover by itself says a lot.
Yep.
it gives off those old school EC comic vibes. You know what I'm saying? Bondage cover, half naked woman, Terrifier about to cut her up. Come on, it is EC Comics love right there.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, not even done intentionally. My wife and I, we were with the kids. We actually had a birthday party this morning, and then in the afternoon we left. And my wife's like, "Hey, do you think any of the Halloween stores are open yet?" I'm like, let's just check it out. And dude, no matter which place I end up at when it comes to Halloween stuff, Art the Clown, who is part of this, you always see Art the Clown, like in a big mechanical thing that you could put on your yard or whatever. Like, so creepy.
Yeah, he's one of those characters that is standing out. He's a modern day icon now when it comes to horror comics because we got our Freddy Kruegers, our Jasons, our Pinheads, all those guys, right?
Yep.
Leatherhead. I go on and on, but as of late, he's the newest. He's the latest. So,
yep, love it. Love seeing this. Big sale, Terrifier number 1, CGC 98, $1,500. We're getting all the pronunciation.
Not everybody.
Persephone.
I did say Pese. I did say Pese. Didn't I say Pese?
So I did it right when I switched up my accent. When I said Persephone.
Again, you're talking to two guys who are notorious for butchering names.
Yeah, we're slightly.
I turned it into a gimmick now, guys.
Yeah. I think that's the case. I mean, we have the Bingo Ling fucker over on Cover Price. So, there you go. But anyway,
you get your script. It's like, you sure that's how I'm supposed to say it?
Yeah. It's funny because we were talking about that backstage. I'll give you guys a little insight maybe at the end of the show on how things actually work. But yeah, CGC 98, $1,500. Up next, guys, Star Wars issue number 1. This takes us to 2015. This was IDW's micro comic reprint. That's right, it's micro. CGC 98, $338. Highest sale recorded to date. Cover Price Daily Shaker. these are fun to see, man. Sales as such,
Mhm.
and it's crazy to also see what it's going for on the aftermarket.
So here's the fun part. It's an IDW micro comic reprint, but you have the Marvel bar in the top.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's a recolored, which is nice. I like the recolored version.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
do I, dude. And I like that it's, I don't know, like there's like it feels darker, does it not?
It does feel darker. I'm sure the colorist decided to do something to make Darth Vader look more like his movie counterpart. Because if you go back to that comic book, Darth Vader does not look like Darth Vader.
No, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? And even Leia is like, what's going on with Leia's look? So I like this. I also like the Star Wars #1, the Marvel one comic book that came out that
Yes,
restarted the issue. I like that one, the redone image. I think it was Alex Ross that did it. So,
it was. It was.
mhm.
But
So
yeah, no, that's a wonderful book. This one also a wonderful book. This was IDW Marvel collabing, I think, when they did this
yeah.
reprint. And yeah, man, CGC 98 of this micro comic.
Mhm.
$338, man. Not bad for this little guy. Now, up next, my type of stuff video games. Resident Evil #1 making a splash on the aftermarket. This one being based on material from the video game. You got the Sienkiewicz cover right here. CGC 98, $399, $1 shy from 400. Love
Mhm.
this book. Love this cover, man. And to think this was free. Look at that. Free.
Now that's a name we always get right. Sekevich.
Yeah, because we learned the hard way. I
Yeah.
butchered it once. I almost got assassinated, dude.
Well, it's got to the point that when you go to conventions and you see his name, he actually has the enunciation of how you say it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so yes, Sienkiewicz we get right. Everybody else we butcher. But Resident Evil, guys, classic Marvel comic book from the 90s. You get that old school. My favorite Marvel Comics logo, by the way, is that one right there.
Of all time, dude.
That's
All
my
time.
favorite. I love that logo. I want to see that logo actually make a return. $400 at 9.8. I think that's a good steal.
I agree.
I think
I
that's a good steal.
worth every penny in my book.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I was talking with my buddy Travis, who was on last week,
Mhm.
and we've been talking about putting together a list of our top grails. And I think just on the video game side, I would
Yeah.
need to make a list because I can't
Mhm.
combine it with Marvel, DC, and everything else. There's no
Mhm.
way possible. We need separate lists. And yeah, for video game stuff, this one is definitely up there. One that I would love to have in my collection. Resident Evil #1 being the first Baker Shaker tonight. CGC 98, $399.
I see you, Derek, with the Bilson purse phone itch.
Yeah.
Good
I love it,
one,
man.
Derek. I love it.
Don't ever change, dude. Invincible 144. We were talking some Kirkman stuff earlier. 2018 with this one. Final issue. Of course, you got Tara Grayson, where obviously becomes invincible. This one being the variant for issue 144. Raw near mint, $133 US. Baker Shaker this week, but I gotta shout out my brother Chad Cave, who hit me up with this sale as well. And he was talking about the book, saying, dude, it's crazy to see how this has creeped up in price, man. And I was looking at a CGC 98 just sold.
Yeah.
I think it was the same day as this, and it had sold for, I think it was $210
Mhm.
or 220, somewhere around there, man. So
Mhm.
it is interesting to see how this one has now started to creep up.
Invincible is one of those titles where at its time when it first came out, most people didn't pick it up. So it has low print runs. Like the entire series has low print runs. There was a time that it was getting momentum and stuff like that. But even so, the print runs were lower. This is the final issue, and notoriously, final issues have low print runs, even though I don't think this has that much of a lower print run. But it's a completion, which is something that Robert Kirkman loves to do. He just likes to complete his books with like the most odd numbering system. Like,
Yeah.
the last book is 144. Why? Because he stopped writing it. He's
Not
like,
145, not 150.
not 150. He's like, I'm done. And when you talk to Kirkman, that's exactly how he thinks, right? He's like, yeah, I was done. So I was done. You know what I mean? When Walking Dead ended, it was like, yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
And even though they even made some mock-ups, even though they made some mock-up issues, where it says, yeah, it's gonna go this one, and it was like, no, we're done. So what about all those other issues? Yeah, no, they're not happening.
That's it.
So there you have it. You got the Invincible story is completed. Mark's story is done. Now we got Tara's story. Um, Fun stuff. The comic book. It's the TV show that's happening, and I think Invincible is going to be here for a very long time.
Same, dude. I don't see it stopping, man. Even after the next season, I think people are now fully on board with Invincible, which I'm happy to see. Kirkman deserves it. Everybody involved. Oddly, you go on forever, dude. There's so many great people involved with Invincible, so I am happy to see that. Invincible 144 in a raw near mint, sold for $133 on this amazing variant. That obviously is an homage of the first issue. Now, up next, we were talking some Boba earlier today.
Yeah.
Some Mando stuff. I love
one of the best yellow covers out there.
I'll put it up there. Absolutely. There's some Superman that I obviously am gonna say probably takes the cake, but Star Wars 68 takes us back to 1983. The newsstand premium on this is bananas because the first appearance of the planet Mandalore, of course, in a CGC 98 newsstand, sold for $1,750. Baker Shaker this week. Yikes, dude! Look at that premium.
Here's where I find it very odd. You have a newsstand from 1983. Now, for those people that don't know about the differences between newsstand versus direct market, in the 80s, newsstands were, in some cases, were more copies than the direct markets. The direct market and the newsstand editions, they change hand. They kind of like do role reversals somewhere along the 90s. However, people still hunt out these newsstand editions, and for a book like this at a price like that, that is astounding to see. From what you got a yellow cover, you got to claim it as a newsie. You're talking about a book $1,750 at a 9.8, and it's all because of that cover.
Absolutely, dude. And as JD's saying, it definitely pops. But Ozzy bringing up a great point that the chances of this being treated well was beyond rare when it comes.
And that's another thing about newsies. Even though they were probably printed more, where they were made them more accessible to getting damaged. And even in some cases, so what happens in a newsstand book, if a book does not sell, what the newsstand did was they will rip off the trade dress, send it back to the publishers to get refunds. And that happened a lot. So even at this time, I could see that. But at that time, there were probably more newsstand copies than there were direct markets. However, the newsstands didn't keep their books. They didn't put them in back issue bins or anything like that. They destroyed them. And that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, exactly, man. But some great points being brought up by the chat as well. If they were saying that newsstands were handled by mostly casuals and non-collectors, directs were more taken care of. So obviously, coming across a 9.8 is a lot more difficult, and that is why you could see this insane premium on such a book. When we go back to the 80s, I gotta agree with Chad Cave as well here when he's saying that the fact that this is more valuable than issue 42 is absolutely criminal. But
I think it's a better looking cover. He's up and he's right there in your face, where the other one is just like him and two other guys next to him.
Exactly. And I give it to you. I'll say on that aspect, definitely fair. But Star Wars 68,
and it's yellow.
The yellow pop. Star Wars 68 in a newsstand, guys. CGC 98 1750. Wow. Thank you, Baker. All right. Adam Hughes, baby. Gotta love me some Adam Hughes with some Harley Quinn issue number 1 here, taking us back to 2014. It's a 1-in-25 ratio. There's 427 CGC 98s on the census, guys, but still, CGC 98, $700. Oh boy. Very impressive, man. I think this goes up there as one of those. It's up there with the Catwoman Adam Hughes cover, right? I think those go hand in hand here.
Yeah. Even though I think the Catwoman one's a little more iconic.
Same.
This one is, you have a high census count with 427 at 9.8, but it's still, Adam Hughes is one of those artists that you see his name, you see his artwork, it's an immediate pickup for many people. You know, we mentioned Mark Spears and how Mark Spears books are the way they are. He
Yeah.
has 0 PSA. Right now, give it time. Give it time. Give it a couple of days. Now I feel like finding that book and just sending the PSA myself.
Kilted Corgi broke me tonight.
You know what I'm saying? That's a good one. However, going back to this book, it's an Adam Hughes, it's Harley Quinn. You got an ugly logo.
Yeah.
But still, I'm gonna when I see that logo, I'm gonna just keep saying that ugly logo.
Rightfully so.
You know, Adam Hughes is just one of those guys. I mentioned Mark Spears earlier, and I said Mark Spears is like a lot of people are just grabbing his stuff now. You know, especially his older stuff, which is very affordable, like his Spawn stuff.
Yeah.
Was very affordable for a little while. Now I think people are starting to realize it.
Agreed.
But with Adam Hughes, he's always been hot. You know what I mean? He's always been hot. So 2014 is peak Adam Hughes.
Yep.
And you know, we look today, 2025, it's still peak Adam Hughes.
Yeah,
he has not slowed down.
Absolutely not, dude. I love Hughes' work across multiple titles, man. And the covers always stand out, man. It could be Catwoman, it could be Tomb Raider, it could be anything, dude. And it absolutely stands out. And I love seeing it. But clearly somebody really loves seeing Harley Quinn.
I bet you they're all owned by at least 400 are owned by the same guy.
Yeah, probably. CGC 98 sold for $700, guys. $700. Swipe left. I see that, Kilted Corgi. Yes, swipe away. But all right, up next, guys. Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man #1. This is going back to 2014. 1 in 50 ratio by Fiona Staples. There's 150 CGC 98s on the census of this book. 0 PSAs is going to be my new joke moving forward. But CGC 98 sold for $3,300 Baker shaking this week. Izzy, I think it's safe to say that this particular book is a modern grail. It is what it is.
It's also what the image is showing us, because we've seen this image in the animated series, in the animated movie. This image is directly in the movie.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. It is a modern grail. It's amazing that a 1 in 50 in 2014 demands so much money as compared to 1 in 50 today, right? 1 in 50s today are not like that. But at that time, 1 in 50s were a big deal. So, and Miles was still getting his footing at this time.
Yep.
You know, he wasn't the character he is today, but he was getting his footing at the time. And there you have it. His footing's on the taxis. And you see this picture by Fiona Staples, who is known for Saga, doing some artwork here. It's awesome. It's a great cover. It stands out. It is one of those covers that you see it, you love it, man. $3,300, man. If I had that kind of money, yeah.
And you know what? It's funny that Derek says that, because that is something I keep looking at when it comes to this book. I compare it to you know, the 1 in 25 ratio. I compare it to Ultimate Fallout 4 being the first appearance, the first print, going for much cheaper than this actual book, which is not a first appearance for Miles, and it has absolutely like nothing really going for it outside of this just being a wicked ratio. Clearly, you know, there's 150 copies on the census, and I know it sounds like a lot, but 150 copies ain't too much, guys, when it comes to 9/8.
Yeah,
it's wild to see just how high up there this is compared to many others key books when it comes to Miles Morales. But in my eyes, this is considered a modern grail, and with you know, interesting reasons behind it. It is a stunning cover. Izzy said it very well, brought up a lot of great points that I totally agree with, man. So very interesting how this book is still holding while the actual first appearances of Miles are not doing so well.
But here's what I will say about Miles. I don't think Miles has hit his peak yet.
Yes, no, I agree with you at 100%.
I think the time will come, and sooner rather than later, I say within the next 5 years, maybe even earlier, Miles will be bigger than he is now, because again, we only have animated Miles.
Yep.
You know we're gonna get live action. They're planning live action hard.
As long as Sony doesn't handle, we're good.
Well, I think Sony, all they want to do is handle it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but you got to give them credit on the animated front.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll give them all that credit on the
Give them the
animated
credit
stuff.
on the anime. If they're able to stick to an animated front and take what they do in the animated and do live action, and get the right writers and not just try to just spoon feed us characters,
Yeah.
I think they could perform because they're never gonna give up on Spider-Man. Never. But
Nope.
if they keep Miles, they could have their cake and eat it and just like, okay, Marvel Studios, you can have Peter. We want Miles, and we're good. And that's exactly what they're saying. Because
Yep.
Feige went on the record to say that they don't want us to touch Miles.
Yeah, exactly, man. I love Mark saying that he wants this cover badly. It's so dynamic, and I agree, dude. The cover is just absolutely stunning. Amazing book. Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, #1, 1 in 50 ratio by Fiona Staples in a CGC 98, $3,300. Guys, that was the market report. Wow, Izzy, we are going through it, but we have just one portion left of the show, and that's the hot topics. We're going to talk some interesting stuff, but it's short. That's what made us be able to go through all of the market, take our time, FOC, deep dive, hot topics. It might get spicy. Hang tight. Izzy, for the last time tonight, sir, are you ready?
Let's do this, baby.
Vamos. Yeah, that television's burning, baby. Let's get into it, guys. Hot topics tonight. First on the list, I don't know if you guys saw this, but DC reveals more details and covers for Batman Deadpool #1. There are so many amazing covers, man. We can go down the rabbit hole and look at every single cover, but that's going to take forever. But man, whether it be Mark Brooks, whether it be literally anybody, the collaborations on these covers have been absolutely amazing. We were talking FOC taking all my money, DC bringing us Batman Deadpool #1. I think that alone is going to take a good chunk of my coins, sir.
Here's what I want to say. They dropped the ball on one. They dropped the ball. And here's the one I tell you they dropped the ball on. Where is Deadpool Deathstroke? Where is that one?
We need that.
That's the one I want. I want Deadpool Deathstroke. I love the other ones. I think the Rondando, Nightwing, and X-23 is great. I think the Amanda Connor one with Harley Quinn and Hulk is funny. There's a lot of them. So, yeah, like you said, we're going to be broke. And chances are, because this is going to probably have an extremely high print run, I probably am going to hold out on some of these books because I'm going to see them for cheap. Because there's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. There's going to be so many of them.
Yeah, dude, there's exactly that. And I'm excited, though. Although we're not getting some of those collaborations, crossovers that we wanted to see, like you just said, Deathstroke, Deadpool. It is fun.
How can you not give me that? You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully it's going to kick it. They'll give us one on another crossover.
And then call Rob Liefeld to draw it, just for the hell of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, Liefeld's been Liefeld as of late, so I don't know.
He doesn't want to work with Marvel again, but, he loves money, so he'll probably do it.
Yeah, but speaking of all of these covers, guys, I don't know if you saw this, but this was rather interesting. Yes, the Pokemon signal apparently got some people in trouble here when it comes to this crossover because they had to make a change. I accidentally put the same picture twice.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, what's going on? Why does it look the same? It's like, I don't know the difference.
That's what happens when you rush, man, to get things done for the show. But I'll show you guys very quickly because the Batman Deadpool crossover, originally the bat signal didn't have a half bat symbol and half Deadpool symbol. It had the actual Deadpool that Scottie Young has been drawing for the longest time when it comes to the Deadpool symbol. And apparently legal told him, look, there was some issue and they made him go back to the drawing board on just that aspect. I know he's dumbing it down, but it kind of feels like it had to do with something of the symbol looking a lot like the Pokemon stuff. So just to give you guys an idea, let me pull that up for you. So what was I looking for? Batman, Deadpool, Scottie Young. Here, I'm going to show you. Originally, this here is what it looked like. So the product is not found. So I guess it
got removed.
Yeah, product is not found. Okay, here we go. So I'm just gonna share my screen with you guys so you get a better idea, as opposed to the idiot who made this thumbnail for this slide for you. So share screen. There you go. Hold on. All right, so here is what it looked like prior, and here's what it looks like now. So as you can see here, right? If you look at the belt buckle of Deadpool here,
Yeah.
you can see it's the same symbol, right? That's Scotty Young draws at all times. So they had to make that little bit of a switch, which is pretty funny. Now I get it. I could see what they're talking about, because when you look at it, yeah, I guess it looks like it's split open, whatever you want to say, but it's just
Yeah, no, that's pulling fingers.
weird, right? Very
Yeah,
weird.
because I've seen the Pokeball numerous times in other things,
Yep. Same.
right? Because it's such a common look. So I've seen it numerous times and no one's gotten in trouble of it. It's far, yeah. The Nintendo lawyers act quick, but I don't think it was a Nintendo lawyers. I think it was an editing choice.
Yeah, same.
And
I don't think Nintendo got involved. I think legal just caught it and was probably like, hey, maybe we should do something.
yeah, but it's not. It's different enough. It's not going to cost. Even though I will say, the Japanese companies are fierce.
Yep.
They talking about cease and desist. They'll go get you, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, put any manga stuff on put anything on manga on YouTube, or show any video of footage. That thing is gone within a day. So.
Pretty much. But anyways, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, guys. So if you pre-ordered expecting the Deadpool symbol in the there, that's not the case. Now we're gonna have this new cover that was done. Scotty Young dumbing it down, saying that no, it had nothing to do with Nintendo, and he might be telling us the truth, and we do believe him. But legal did get it seems.
I do think the Deadpool Batman logo is probably a better choice anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think it makes a lot more sense. Although it kind of was funnier looking like Deadpool fully took over the Batman symbol. I thought that was a neat touch. But anyways, here's what it is. Thank you, legal, I guess. Up next, though, we spoke about it briefly on the FOC portion of the show, but I just want to remind everybody that Infernal Hulk is going to be coming out this November. So if you guys have been paying attention, issue 29, we spoke about it on FOC. Issue 30 is going to follow as well. And it's going to begin the story of Hulk's brutal rematch with the eldest. So that's the firstborn child of the Mother of Horrors. There's lots of stuff that's going to be happening within the next 2 issues, but then immediately after, it's going to kick off Infernal Hulk. And I know people are still scarred by Titan. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe people might look past this. I'm excited. I think, the 30 issues have been pretty good. I fell off of Hulk for a little bit and then started playing catch up. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a very interesting take on the Hulk, and it's looking like it's going to be very different because you can see here they're saying, I've been promising Hulk fans the biggest, boldest status quo change in Hulk's history, and that time is finally here. Johnson said the next few issues of Incredible Hulk give fans all the answers they've been waiting for about Eldest and the Mother of Horrors, and Infernal Hulk is the beginning of a terrifying new normal, not just for Hulk series, but for the entire Marvel universe. So I don't know which way they're going to totally swing when it comes to Hulk.
So you're trying something different with the Hulk, which, fine, you need to try something different from a character that goes all the way back to the 60s, right? You know what I mean? It's like,
I get it,
right? For me, Philip Kevin Johnson, if it's a good story, it's a good story, and that's fine, and I think that's what we want. But for Mother of Horrors, I like that one. But all I want is my Savage Green Hulk, man.
Yeah,
just give me my Savage Green Hulk. Let him do his thing.
I feel you. The monster stuff, dude. Like, honestly, I am enjoying it, though. I am enjoying it. I think it's a neat little takes. There's been great characters introduced within the current run of Hulk, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how this plays out. But again, just a gentle reminder, guys. there's big changes coming for the Hulk, and it's all
Yeah.
starting to unfold as we speak. So
Yeah.
FOC, you saw issue 29, 30 is going to pretty much cap that off, and then here we go. We
Yeah.
introduced Infernal Hulk because we're already August. You got 29 coming out. You got
Yeah.
September is when it's I think going to be released in stores, and then you have October for issue 30.
Yeah.
November we get Infernal Hulk. Here we go. So just keep an eye out for that one. Here's an interesting one though. We were kind of
I saw that.
yeah, I heard you chuckle a bit at the beginning when it came to this. But Netflix has found the stars for its newest comedy, The Leading Man, which is actually a comic book, guys. So John Cena and Kevin Hart are starring in a new Netflix comedy based on the popular comic. Now, popular is a pretty strong word.
Yeah, The
On
Leading
the
Man,
aftermarket,
Oni Press.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the aftermarket, dude, I only saw since the announcement 3 sales, and I think those best offers were kind of impressive when you factor the shipping for somebody like myself here, but otherwise not much movement. So I don't know, guys, maybe keep an eye out in those long boxes that are out there at your shops.
Oh, I'm sure they're in dollar bin somewhere.
Exactly, you might be able to come across these, but it is pretty much confirmed, man. So yeah, I'm just putting this out there for everybody, man. What do you think?
So you got John Cena, you got Kevin Hart in a Netflix special. What else am I going to say other than you got John Cena and Kevin Hart in a Netflix special?
Yeah.
There's not that many Netflix specials that you can say, oh my God, I have to see this movie, even though there have been some good ones. I personally love John Cena as a wrestling fan. I was definitely one of those John Cena haters, but he's like most people, he grows on me. Kevin Hart's Kevin Hart. He's gonna play himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, but as far as this comic book goes, you're gonna see an uptick, of course, of this book, and then you're gonna see the book drop.
Yep.
That's it.
I haven't even seen the uptick yet, so I'm still waiting.
Oh, I'm sure Covrprice is paying attention to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure tomorrow when that top 10 list comes in, they might be a leading man in that list.
We'll see, man. I think if it comes anywhere close, maybe a runners up, but I haven't seen any sales on eBay yet. So looking like not many people are fully intrigued for now. So we'll see how this plays out throughout time. But just wanted to put this information out there for all of you. Now, people went mad when they saw Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds himself doing this post here for Avengers. It looks like he's doing his own little logo here over the Avengers logo. And Hollywood Reporter's Heat Vision strand, they cited a source that confirmed Deadpool will be in the film, which I think we all anticipated, especially when we saw what happened in the Deadpool Wolverine, when he saw that scene of him with Thor. We all want to know what's going to happen. He wants to know what's going to happen. We all do. But apparently they say don't expect him to actually be joining the Avengers team, though. And I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder because of the fact that he was never accepted by Happy, and that there's going to be banter there.
Yeah. So for anybody who knows wrestling talk, it's a work.
Yep. Exactly.
It's a work.
Total work.
All it is to and I'm a big fan of watching entertainment shows like John Campia's show, and one of the things they say for things like this, for Ryan Reynolds to put something out like this, Ryan Reynolds is a marketing genius.
Absolutely.
Genius, I tell you. And what he's doing here is he's clearly telling the public that he most likely is going through some contract negotiations to be in one of these films. He may not, I think he may not be in Doomsday, but I guarantee you he's going to be in Secret Wars.
Oh no, I think that's already
everybody's in Secret Wars.
I think it's already been locked down. I think we do even possibly see him in Doomsday. There's going to be more cast announcements when it comes to Doomsday. I think Ryan Reynolds is already penciled in.
Yeah,
and I think
I think they already as well.
Yeah, dude, they already built it up within the Deadpool film, and we saw that scene with him and Thor. So I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, people went mad for this. I was seeing it all over mainstream media for some reason, and I was kind of like scratching my head, like, well, why? I thought we all saw this coming. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a surprise. So yeah, pretty excited.
It's definitely something that when I look at this and I read this and I see what's going on, it's just their way of toying with the companies to show you how important Deadpool is to the dollar, the bottom line. So the dollar bill is in play here. This is a money issue, with
Absolutely.
more than anything. The only issue I have with Deadpool in general when it comes to the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is how he fits in a way that he won't take the entire spotlight, because Deadpool's one of those characters that will just take the spotlight.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way to use him wisely, like even to the point maybe give him less screen time. But you're talking about the only movie in the last 5 years that have hit the $1 billion mark in Marvel,
Yep.
and you're gonna tell me you're not gonna get the one person that caused that to happen.
Oh, he's in, dude. He's in. Like
So
even Chia, like Chia's saying, and I know Chia's a huge follower of like movie stuff when it comes to the MCU and all stuff movie related.
mhm.
And he's saying the same thing. Like we all knew this was already locked down, man. So I don't know why people started going
Yeah.
mad when they saw this. Like, oh my god, yay, it's confirmed. Like we knew it was coming.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
exactly.
part of the X-Men team because that's all he wanted to be.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I'm excited. Again, we all saw it coming. So moving on from Deadpool, let's talk some stuff when it
Ooh,
comes to
this one's
comics.
big, man.
Yeah, this is juicy, guys, because 17 artists. I don't know if you guys remember the whole Cadence comic art stuff, but back last year, I mean, there were a lot of artists that were walking away, stepping away from Cadence, saying that they're no longer going to be working with them. And there's a lot of big names, like Tula Lote was one of them. You have so many
Jenny
big
Frison.
artists. Sorry?
Jenny Frison's
Yeah,
another name.
Frizen, and they were all walking away. And the reason being is that Cadence was basically selling some original art for these artists, right? So these artists were using Cadence to get sales through kind of like heritage auctions when it comes to comics and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And people were buying original arts that these sales were not being fulfilled. And it was damaging a lot of reputation for these artists. A lot of artists were getting upset as well. So they decided to cut ties. And there was a big walkout. Now it looks like the artists are also going after Cadence, and you have 17 right now that are seeking $437,000 in damages. So this is huge coin. You have 17 of them that filed a lawsuit against Cadence Comic Art Inc. and its owner Paolo Belfiore, who is actually apparently an artist as well, accusing them of systematically defrauding the artists out of hundreds of thousands of dollars through unreported sales, unauthorized commissions, and failure to return unsold artworks. So those names, you've got Becky Clunan, you've got David Marquez, you got Wesley Craig, you got Paolo Villanelli, you've got Layla Lees, you got Alessandro Capuccio. Dude, the list goes on forever. You got Casagrande, you got Shiti, you've got you named Frizen before.
Mhm.
There's a lot of big names, and dude, I think this is bad.
This is big, and yeah, Cadence is done. That's all I gotta say about that part.
Absolutely.
You have a representative. That's what they do. They represent like agents in that way, and they represent the artists. And when you are stealing from the artist in some way, because that's what's happening here, and the artist finds out what you're doing,
oh, you're screwed.
That's it. You lose your reputation's gone. You're not going to get new talent because they know what you're doing, and you even got some. I said Frizen. You said a few other names that are very popular. You got Jolene Jones, who's another big name. A name that I butcher all the time. Yili Ray Sintron. I know I butchered that name. My apologies for that one. These are talented individuals. Sarah Pacelli is another one that's part of it.
Yep.
This ain't pretty for them, and you dug your own hole. That's all I gotta say about that. When you steal from people, I have no sympathy for you. You know what I mean? You're talking about these talented people who work hard for this work, for this stuff, and they want to get what they worked. They're done in my estimation, because even though the damages, let's just say they have the money for the damages, they lost trust.
Oh, dude, it's over. They're done.
When you lose trust, you're done. You know what I mean? So bye Cadence. Just like that image that you probably stole somewhere.
Yeah.
Looks like crypto. No, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, it's just like, as an artist myself, if someone takes my art and tries to sell it off and then not give me the proceeds of my art, yeah, you get a commission for the sale. Your purpose.
Yep.
Whatever the percentage is, you get your 10%. You know, if you represent all this talent, and let's just say that the number is 10%, you're making your money.
Yep.
You're doing your work.
Exactly.
This absolutely sucks, and I hate seeing this kind of stuff.
Same, man, same. And I hope these artists get every penny, man. It's going to be a tough battle for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised to see more names come forth and more, you know, compensation being sought for all these damages, etc. I think it's going to get very extensive when you add, you know, lawyer fees and all these legal fees, etc. It's going to go probably even higher than this, but happy to see this is happening, because the shady shit that I don't stand for, and like you were saying that you don't as well, deserves this type of treatment, man. I hope, you know, that they do get their money back. But yeah, Derek might be right, man. This guy's probably somewhere else. Who the hell knows where he's at? So we'll see how this story continues to unfold, but very interesting when I came across this. Now, speaking interesting, IDW, whatnot, look at this. The IDW company enters.
Oh, I can see the logo now with the whatnot logo right underneath that W.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense now.
ID whatnot.
Yeah, but they created a partnership here, creating TMNT, Godzilla, valuables, and more. So thanks to Whatnot and its incredible platform, IDW is excited to have a new way to engage directly with fans. We're going to offer some really cool stuff like exclusive content, signed merchandise, and eventually have amazing creators on the streams to chat with readers. We can't wait to get started, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on our weekly show. So this is pretty cool. I know some people are not big fans when it comes to Whatnot as a whole for whatever reason, but I think this is a good opportunity, and it's interesting because now that IDW is doing this, where, you know, they're going to be directly, you know, communicating, dealing with the fans, the collectors, and offering these cool things. Whatnot's been, you know, really great at offering some exclusives on multiple ends, not just via Whatnot exclusives or Whatnot packs, etc. But a lot of artists tend to come to Whatnot, and, you know, they have their exclusives, whether it be comics, whatever. And I think this is probably, you know, just one more being added to Whatnot, and we'll see a lot more companies probably doing this, dude. If you know, it seems like this is just set up for success, in my opinion.
So this is probably the biggest company to do this venture with Whatnot. You know, Massive was one of them. They kind of like, they felt like they were the same company in a weird way. But this is like the first major publisher that's doing this, and I'm intrigued. I will say that much. But like you said, artists have been doing it. So J. Scott Campbell's been doing it. Tom McFarlane's been doing it. So why not IDW with the properties, with TMNT? Because I guarantee you, TMNT and Godzilla by themselves deserves a Whatnot channel. You know, the fan base alone deserves a Whatnot channel in that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. So as long as it doesn't become an exclusive thing. That's when it'll become that's when it'll start bothering me. And I doubt that it will be an exclusive thing, because I think that would be a dumb move, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
So if they want to do this, first of all, they're entitled to do whatever the hell they want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's their company. You know what I mean? They're not publicly traded, so there's not like they got stakeholders that are gonna say, "Hey, we don't want this." No, it has everything to do with the fact, you know, maybe TMNT has stakeholders and Godzilla has stakeholders, but the company IDW is trying to find new ways to get the product of that they don't have to go through a middleman. That's what it looks like. Yeah. They're gonna go through a middleman regardless for other things like lunar distribution and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But why not do it themselves and do things that won't go past lunar, and it's for their purposes. So, you know, all the better for them. You know, just change that logo.
Yeah. Chad Cave, well said, man. People generally don't like new shit or change, and if one mistake is made, the whole thing is corrupt. Same with eBay, same with CGC, and that's pretty much it. You know, CGC on my end, there were a lot of things that kind of made me take a step back, simply because I saw there was too many things going on at once. Last year, you remember the swap outs, the banana gate, and all that stuff. So I took a break from that for a little bit, but, you know, when it comes to the IDW Whatnot stuff, I think this is just for collectors and for the hobby, it's just another great, thing that is being offered. And I don't see this as a negative. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more companies, publishers, artists continuing to do this as well via these
Yeah.
platforms, whether it be Whatnot, eBay, Live, or whatever.
I think what some people are going to be upset by is that I think for sellers that sell and whatnot, I think they're the ones that are probably a little concerned about it because again, if IDW is doing a show on let's just say Wednesday at 8 p.m., there's a time slot I don't think I should be selling comic books in. You know what I mean? Because I'm having
Yeah.
a competition, and
Yeah.
I think that happens. It's kind of like with Kickstarters. Hey, Christina, uh, like Kickstarter, for example, when Kickstarter started back in the early 2000s, it was an avenue for a lot of indie creators to
Yes.
get their books out. Today, it's it still is, but then you have major names, major publishers
Yeah,
coming
dude.
in and doing the same thing. And what's happening is that the other guys, the little guys, suffer as a result because this was kind of like their thing, right? It's like gatekeeping in a weird way. Um, I don't think it's honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Whatnot is a platform for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's still, in my view, it's their company. They do what they want to do with their company. I don't hate on it. It's not hurting me personally, so I'm fine with that.
No, exactly, man. Again, I don't see any negative here. I think it's pretty cool, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more stuff like this unfolding from other, publishers, artists, etc., moving forward. But since we're talking Whatnot, my brother Love for Comics, who is just an amazing guy, he hops on every now and then doing amazing things. I want to let all of you know who are watching live or catching the replay that Love for Comics is actually going to be on at the end of this month, and we have some giveaways taking place. So just want to put that out there. Love for Comics, always bringing some love back to you guys, the viewers. So yes, there's going to be giveaways at the end of the month. So stay tuned for that. No announcement's going to be made. We're just going to do a giveaway. So make sure you're there live. Now, let's get into this, guys. This one might be a bit juicy, Izzy. So let's see how this plays out. Before you and I dive into this, I want to put it out there to the chat. The Comic Book Community Awards now revealed the finalists. I'm curious to know what the chat thinks about the award show as a whole. So feel free to start commenting that while Izzy and I get into conversation. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Izzy, who's in this chat on the show with me, and he's been nominated for an award. I want to thank everybody who actually nominated me. I didn't ask a single soul to like, hey, please go vote. I wasn't promoting it on my channel, nothing at all. But you guys put me in for 3 categories, so thank you so much. I'm alongside many great people like K-pop, there's Paul in the 619, and many others as well. Now, the awards, of course, every time we get into the season where it's time to give out the nominations or we get into the finalists and then we get into the voting and all of that stuff, there's people who are happy and promoting and celebrating it. And then you have the other side where people are pissed off, people are angry, people think this is stupid or whatever it is. And you see both sides on social media. I see it all. And I'm just embracing.
I see a lot more than you think.
Yeah, and Izzy, you and I kind of touched on this backstage before going live. So, first question I have to ask is, when it comes to the awards, kind of like I asked the chat, what's your thoughts on this every year? It's been what, maybe 3-4 years now that this has been going on?
I think it's the 5th year.
5th year. There you go.
I want to say the 5th year. I don't know off the top, but it's definitely 4 or 5 years around there. I love it. I love it for one reason, and this is my reason. It is to get the names of channels that people don't know about.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I don't think winning is as important for this type of award. Right. And I say this as a person that's been nominated 5 times. I've been nominated 6 times in total, and I've not won a single one. I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So in my first year, I was nominated for Best Community Artist, and I was nominated for Specking. So those are 2 that I usually get nominated for. And I ended up losing, and you know who. I ended up losing to Empire Comics.
Yes.
Who passed away.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things like, how am I going to compete with someone that passed away?
Yeah, and
You know?
honestly, I absolutely miss Empire Comics, dude,
Yeah.
because like back when I first started YouTube, he was one of the only ones that was showing up to talk weekly with
Yeah,
me. You know what I mean?
and then I learned so much about Empire Comics before he passed away because me and him, we lived 2 blocks away from each other. We grew up in the Bronx, literally 2 blocks away, and I ended up having conversations with him, and like literally months before he passed away. And he actually had a book that he sent to me that I ended up winning. Remember, he would do the mystery prizes,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
ended up winning the golden ticket. I was the last golden ticket winner, and that package was coming in the mail. It was getting kind of lost in the mail, and that's when he passed away.
Oh my God.
And I was freaking out because I'm like, this is now even more important to me. I eventually did get the prize,
Good.
and I have it has a special heart in me. I got the golden ticket that's on the book and everything like that, and I was happy to lose to him. I was like, I'm not winning this one. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then last year, I got nominated for best spec again. I usually get nominated for spec. I got nominated again for best community artist. I got nominated for editing. I think there was a fourth one, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So I get nominated for all these things, and in the community artist one, there's an artist by the name of Naman. He actually went through. He ended up having a physical ailment. He got really sick, but he survived it. It was like he had a stroke. I think it's public. He had a stroke and he survived it. And there was a campaign to have him win to kind of like uplift his spirits. And I'm like, damn, here I am losing again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I can't catch a break because either you got to die or you got to really get sick or something like that. But again, for me, it was more like, you know what? There's love. That's what the community awards is really about. That's the intention behind the community awards. I know people behind the community awards, and you know what? They're doing it out of the grace of their heart. Are they perfect? No.
No, exactly.
They are regular day people with everyday jobs who are trying their absolute best to recognize other communities and other community creators, content creators, because this is a grind, guys.
Oh yeah.
This is work. For some of us might work harder than others. I'll admit to that. But the reality of it is this is just for the passion of comic books. This is for the passion of just being able to have a platform of doing something where we could just talk about comic books and stuff like that. And that's the purpose behind the real purpose behind the community art awards. And I say this as a person that has never won one. So guys, if you want me to win one, just vote for me. Finally, I could get one. I could end that. But if I don't win it, I'm fine with that as well. And I look at Cliff all the time, man, because Cliff is one of the reasons why I don't win. I love you, Cliff.
But you know what? These are good points, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate too, though. I'm gonna play both sides
Yeah.
because, as you said, it's not perfect, and it also does highlight a lot of good. There's a lot of positives that come out of this. One being, like you guys said, and a lot of people saying in the chat, how basically this is promotion, free promotion for a lot of channels that don't get the exposure that other channels do. Look, I'll be honest with you. On my end, I solely believe in I grind and show up every single week, whether I'm tired, whether I'm sick, whether I'm not feeling it. I'm here every single week for the chat, for those of you who actually give a shit to be here. I don't care for the sub count. I don't care for any of that. I care for those who want to be here with me to talk comics. I want to build a solid community that actually gives a fuck about comics, not the rest of the jazz that follows, right? I will happily accept new subscribers, but I want to make sure it's people that want to be here, not just, hey, I want to hit a milestone or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. Those of you who are, doing that grind, it's okay. We grind different, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? We all have our goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to the community awards, I think it is a good opportunity for people to get their name out there. Now, I do know, again, when there are those flaws, one part that is a flaw is that people come out in herds to get themselves into the hat, into the mix. What they do is they'll be voting from their account, their mother's account, their aunt's account, their colleague's account, and it's fine. I get it. You want to get your name in the hat. Do I think that that area could get a little fine tuning? Yeah, for sure. But if we do select, let's say,
Mm.
a certain academy, so to speak, where we have just these are the 20 people that will vote every single year for whatever channels, whatever,
Mhm.
you're gonna tend to see the same names popping up over and over and over,
Yeah.
right? So I think as of right now, the current structure, I don't have a problem with it. And if people are going to the mile to the extent of really voting for multiple accounts, clearly it means a lot to them. You understand? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. There's names on there that I personally am shocked. Sorry, there's names that are not on there that I'm shocked to see not be there. Christina Payne is one of them. Michael Baker is another one. I can go on forever. That's just, let's say, wrench names.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at the entire list of things, but I know there are significantly better channels out there, right? With bigger followings, bigger, live shows. I told you, Izzy, backstage, I think your editing is probably up there when it comes to other names that I've seen on the board. I think you're even better than a good majority when it comes to the editing. The work you're doing for Covrprice right now is really showcasing your skills.
Mhm.
And I really love seeing that side of it, right? Because I myself, being a content creator, have the appreciation for what you're doing. And I think that when we look at the award show as a whole, yeah, sure, like you said, like we both said, it definitely has its flaws, but there's a positive. There is a positive as well here, and I think the positive does outshine the negative. I don't take this to heart. Hey, dude,
Mhm.
I won an award with the Comic Kingpins years ago. Here, best speculation comic investing content. Cool.
Yeah, that's
You know
the
what I
one
mean?
that was supposed to win.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry. but but that was 2022. You know what I mean? And I am I appreciative, of course, dude. I still love these boys to death. You know what I mean? I don't have any issues with them. Sure, I ventured out into my own stuff, and I'm just trying to build my own brand and just continue to talk comics. That's all I give a fuck about.
Mhm.
I've been across multiple channels that are doing whatever grind that they are doing for whatever reasons and motives, and it's cool. Some people prefer, let's say, I don't know, YouTubers beefing out, or some people prefer you know talking about books in a negative light, or whatever. I don't care for it. I personally don't care for that, but if people do, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. So when it comes to the awards, like I said, for me, I think there's good here. I think it does give the opportunity for people to voice themselves and be like, hey, I exist,
Yeah.
maybe come and check me out. You know what I mean? And just having their name in the hat, I think, is good. Those of you who showed up for me and voted for me, like I said, I didn't come out to you guys and say, please, please, please vote for me. I didn't do that. So I appreciate you guys having me in 3 categories. Should you vote for me or not vote for me, I don't take it personal. Please, I don't want you guys to think that I will ever take anything personally. Unless you're attacking me and my family directly, then we have a big fucking problem. But otherwise, we're okay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I know a little bit about that too. Um, yeah, I'm the same. I don't campaign. I'm not the campaigning type when it comes to these things because I'm very much about, you know what, let the work speak for itself, in my view. And I know a lot of this is a popularity contest because it's a public platform. And yeah, can like I see people saying it's rigged. Can you rig it if it's a popularity contest? In some ways you can, but I don't think that's really the intention here. I think the intention here is, and I know Brian, the intention was never about the actual winners.
Yeah.
The intention is about getting people recognized for work they've done and has continued to do. And some of these names that you see on this list, you probably never heard of them, and this is the first time you actually get to hear about them. In some ways, that's how people got to know me. There's like, who's this guy? Izzy? It's like,
Yeah.
what's this schmuck all about? And that's it. But the truth for me is, I'm not the type that's gonna say go vote for me, even though I'll do jokingly around. I say, hey, go vote for me, or jokingly around, I'll say, hey, look, I lost to this guy. Um, I'm fine with that. I have I know my worth. That's how I always look at it. I know what I put into it, and I think last year specifically when it came, I was nominated for best editing with some of my good friends like E-Man. I was nominated with DJ Lynx, who, dude, he campaigned.
Oh yeah.
But also someone like that Comic Tropes with Chris, who's a phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not taking anything away from Chris. He ended up winning that award. Did he actually win the award because he's a solid editor? You know what? He's a pretty good editor, right? I think DJ and E-Man was better than him, but how did he win? Because he has a higher head count of people that watch his content, and those people came out to vote. He himself didn't go ahead and say, "Go vote for me," because I know Chris enough to say that he didn't do that. But there are those that say, "Yeah, I did. There, vote for us, vote for us," and they have a high enough head count of subscribers. Not that, I mean, it's not just subscribers, people that actually watch their content. Because you could have a lot of subscribers and people are not really watching your content. You know, this is the kind of community that we help each other. We sub for sub in some cases, right?
Yeah.
So, and when you sub for sub, that's actually a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Because if you sub, not everybody's actually watching your content. They're subbing you because I'm going to be your friend to sub you. Sometimes I don't want you to sub me. I want you to watch me.
That Izzy, that's been my go-to from when I started episode 1 with this channel. And I said, I genuinely, I hear everybody talking subscriber count. To be honest with you, I don't care for that. Reason being is because I want people to show up willingly, want to
Yeah.
be here. I rocked it with many people throughout, the start of this channel. I met many amazing people, and I think I'm not blowing smoke up my own fucking ass. I really don't care, to be honest with you. Like, my view count versus sub count is what I'm happy about. I'm seeing that people who are subscribing want to be here. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I don't care to hit numbers where the subscriber count is ridiculously high. I'll look at people, colleagues who have absolutely no idea how this stuff works, and they'll be like, "Oh, so you have a YouTube channel? How many subscribers do you have?" It's the first goddamn question that always comes out, and I'll look at them. I'll be like, "I don't know, like 800," and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Hey, dude, I'm getting close to like 500-600 views though. Like, I'm okay with where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they understand that the comic side of things is a little more niche. There's so many channels, variety, and stuff like that. So to stand out in a crowd is, rather difficult. So that's why I'm happy about the fact that this does exist. But I do agree with Lefteros, and I have to put it out there because this, for me, would make the perfect setup. And I think Brian does a phenomenal job with everybody involved. But I think it is great that the fans have the opportunity, or those who are going out in herds, whatever it is, that are voting to get the names into the actual finalist list, and then leave it to a select few people that have to actually watch the shows, and they vote for who's gonna win, rather than we make multiple accounts, vote ourselves in, all that stuff.
I think the challenge is how you do that. So again, it is called the community awards, so therefore the community votes, right? The community is everybody. That's how you have to look at it from that perspective. Now, if it's a peer voting system, like let's just say the Oscars, or like the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, that like reporters and stuff like that, that's actually harder to manage. That's for someone like Brian to say, okay, you're a content creator, you have the ability to vote now, so I'm sending you this email to vote. I think that could be done. I think we've reached the platform where the CBCA awards, I always say CBCA awards, but it's CBC awards. It's so hard sometimes to say. I think it's large enough now that you may actually be able to do that. When it first started, you couldn't do that. A year ago, you couldn't do that.
No.
I think now you're at a point that maybe it can be done, where you could just say, hey, these are content creators. You have the ability to vote. We're going to send you the ballot, right? And you're only allowed one vote. Like and again, there's work involved there, right? That there's work that needs to be done. And you could do that. And then that becomes an academy vote, which actually has more precedence, I will say, than a simple, you know, simple, People's Choice Awards. Because again, if you have a extremely high subscriber count, you're gonna win whether you deserve it or not. You
Yeah.
just have that many people watch your content. That kind of happened 2 years ago. I'm not gonna say who it happened to, and I don't think it was anybody's fault. It's just that's how it happened. People that you say, "How did this guy win?" I'll tell you exactly how he won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He won because he has 300,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
You
Look,
get what I'm saying?
but even those with high subscriber counts are being surpassed by those that don't even come close. You know what I mean? And that again falls into the factor of, I think, whether it be those people that really support those smaller channels showed up and really voted, maybe there was some campaigning behind it, or maybe people making multiple accounts,
Yeah.
whatever it is, to vote
Yeah, I
themselves.
don't campaign. I don't campaign. I'll make a mention to it. I say a thank you to it. I'll say thank you for nominating me.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. If you want to vote for me, by all means, go vote. I don't campaign for it. Like I said, I'll let my work do the talking. If you don't watch my work, then I understand why you didn't vote for me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
And
saying?
and I agree again with Left Arrow saying that 99% of voters have only watched one or two of the people nominated in any given category, which is probably the case, because when even myself, looking at who is now the finalists, I'm looking at these and I'm like, I I've never heard of them. I get curious, which is good, because again, it falls into what we were saying earlier. This gives us exposure to new channels. Let's
Yeah.
check them out, right? So on that aspect, I think it's great. But then after, when it comes to the voting side, it's like, well, I haven't had the time to watch these guys, so I'm just gonna click my
Yeah.
buddy and vote for him.
Well, yeah, I know one of my friends was trying to say, "Hey, show us your because we were talking about it. I was like, "Show us your ballot, show us your ballot." And
Yeah,
I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna vote now. I always vote at the end. I'm one of those last time voters because I actually like watching some of these guys to see what's their theo, like what they do, and if it's good enough for me, then I will actually vote for somebody that I probably never watched because I know that that's worth it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like the silly ones like best hair, they got to go to the guys that I think have the best looking hair. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But again, it is a fan awards. It is not meant to be taken seriously. It's meant to be a way for us to celebrate this community.
Yeah.
I think the intention behind it is to celebrate the community more than the actual award itself. The
But
award is a nice little thing to put up in a mantle somewhere.
it is again, you see, I feel like there's that positive where, like you said, I'm sure Brian wants that, where we highlight people, but the fact that we're saying not taken seriously, I'm sure kind of leaves a bad taste in his mouth. So, you know what I mean? And I'm
I'm
not saying,
talking to Brian. I know a little bit more. I know about what his intentions were originally for it.
for sure. But I think he does have something where we can get something legitimate and also highlight people. And to
Yeah.
me, I think that people completely forget that he's doing this for free. Again, I don't even campaign it, not because I don't want to be that guy that, hey man, if I could win this without campaigning, that means I'm badass. No, I don't
Mhm.
give a fuck, dude. It's the
Yeah.
reality. I don't do this for any rewards. Anytime somebody sends me a super chat, I
Mhm.
find a way to give it back to you guys.
Yeah.
Like example, dude, just the giveaways that we did on the 100th episode,
Mhm.
all coin that I've made on this channel, dude,
Mhm.
went directly to shipping costs.
Mhm.
You look,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
that's what I'm getting at. And then you factor my cost for fucking StreamYard, dude, is like 50 something dollars Canadian.
I've dropped StreamYard. I'm going to use a new platform.
Yeah,
So,
well, I might have to look into it, but just to give you an idea, is it's costing me time and money away from my family to do this with you guys, because
mhm.
I genuinely love this passion, this hobby.
Mhm.
That's where it all stems from. So I don't care for the rest. I genuinely don't. If it can get to the point where it pays for itself, great. But for now, we're not at that point. So
Yeah.
I don't care for all these bells and whistles of everything else surrounding it. I
Yeah.
just do this for the hangout, but I do appreciate what Brian does, and I think people need to also consider that. Dude, the
Yeah.
guy's dipping out of his time, his pocket.
And all the sponsors, if you guys don't know this, anybody, because I was a sponsor last year, I didn't sponsor this year, but all the sponsors, what we do is we put money down so he could actually buy the awards and it doesn't come out of pocket. because Brian does not have that kind of money to actually spend that kind of money. Brian has an everyday job like everybody, most of us do, and he's
Yeah.
taking the money that's given to him from the sponsorships to pay for these awards. These awards cost something. The
Yeah.
awards themselves do cost something. The shipping costs something. All that is part. The website he has costs money. You know what I mean? Because there's a website, a dedicated website for this. So, again, I think it's more about the actual celebration of these channels more so than the actual winners of these channels, because it might, I'm saying this as a multiple time loser. It's an honor to be nominated.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Cliff.
Yeah, Brian's still looking for sponsors, FYI. So yeah, dude, you know what? I appreciate the entire chat because this show definitely brings a lot of information. It takes time, dude. We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes. It is also a test on all my guests' bladders. So I appreciate you, dude, so much for coming to hang out tonight.
We got one more thing to mention.
Yes, I want to bring it up right now because unfortunately,
thank you. I forgot. I was about to say that.
Yeah, we lost Terrence Stamp. I don't know if you guys remember. He was General Zod for us, man, in Superman. And yeah, dude, he unfortunately passed away. I didn't hear what the causes were, by the way, Izzy. I don't know.
Man. The news came out today, so I don't know what is it either, but an icon, like that one role by itself. He's done a lot. He's actually in Smallville. He's done some movies. Wasn't he Stick? I'm trying to remember. He was in Daredevil, wasn't he? My brain keeps saying he was in Daredevil.
I think he was. What did he play Stick?
That's what I'm thinking. It's my head's not fathoming. I'm thinking he played Stick or somebody in Daredevil. Or was it in that? Or was it in the Elektra movie that nobody watched?
Hold on. Yeah, it was the Elektra movie, I think. Let me check his movies over on IMDb, whatever. But yeah. So I do remember him, obviously, in Superman. My boss's daughter, of course. I, for some reason, am remembering that.
Yes, I was right. Stick. Cliff said it.
Yeah, so he plays Stick. Yeah, it's here. And he's obviously Star Wars Yes Man as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, dude. He was someone, not a big dude, not a large dude, but man, General Zod commanded presence, man.
The screen, dude, like fuck you felt like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Kneel before Zod, man. One of the best movies ever, man. Superman 2 is in a place for itself.
Absolutely. Well said, dude. Like you were just saying, for me, when you saw him in Superman, he commanded the screen, he commanded the scene, he commanded everything, and it's a big loss for us,
I may be paraphrasing this, but that one scene when he looks at the guy, why do you mock me when you know I will just kill you?
Yeah.
He's talking to Lex Luthor that way, and I was like, I love this guy.
Yeah, so good. But Izzy, dude, thank you so much for hanging out, man. It was an absolute pleasure to finally kick it with you. Clearly, we had a lot to talk about because we've never got the opportunity to hang out. Here we are at 2 hours and 37 minutes.
We'll definitely do this again.
Yeah, we will. We will absolutely do it again.
All those FOCs, man, left arrows, man. You gotta let some of them go.
Yeah, let it go. Let it slip under the radar, man. Just DM me. But yeah, man, dude, I appreciate it. You're doing amazing things, and I can't praise you enough because, like I said, guys, if you're not already following Izzy, please do so. He's very informative. Does amazing content both for Covrprice, both for his channel. He just dropped a video today as well with Swagahaz, with the Go Collect books. There's a lot of stuff that he's doing. Sorry, it was the 90s books. The 90s.
Yeah, we did 90s icons.
Yeah. So that was really fun. But yeah, man, guys, definitely check him out. Give him all the love. Izzy, what do you have coming up next, man?
So you said it right there. We just dropped the 90s icons. It's kind of like a top 20 list, but it's not really a count. It's not a countdown. So I don't do countdowns. I just figured here's the most popular characters for the 90s. And I do stuff like that. It's called a spotlight. I do stuff like that. I too have a trending show. My trending show is very different from anybody else's because, like I said, there's a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I take all the trending lists and I kind of like consolidate them into one list. I also include 30-day sales. I include overall hype and things like that. So all that stuff is part of that. That happens on Tuesdays now. I will come back to live streaming, but my partner, the guy who used to co-host with me, unfortunately something bad happened and he wasn't able to do it anymore. We're trying to give him some love. So much love to Shane, my man. So I'm interested in getting a co-host for my shows to do more live streams, because it's harder when you have to talk to yourself. Like, it's fun to talk to the chat, but like to actually have stuff like that. You have spreadsheet. Yeah, dude, if I show you the spreadsheet, you'd be like, oh boy, that's crazy. So I do that. I was doing 30, 60, 90s. I got to go back to doing that. But life, I'm married with kids, and my wife keeps telling me I need to see you. So, you know, she likes seeing me. She kind of likes my presence.
Good for you, because I don't know,
like
man.
my bed. I like my bed as well, and I do have a job that commands a lot from me. But if you are watching Covrprice, if you're at the Covrprice channel, I am doing the top 10 rewind. I kind of took it over from Very Gary. Last week I did a nice little trick with you guys where I had Very Gary do the intro. It just went right back to me. That was fun.
I caught that.
Yeah, we even had Mark Silvestri at one time. Yeah, my wife has been supportive of me since the very beginning. So, you know, we've been married now for 23 years now. So she is very happily married, I like to say. And we got two beautiful girls and stuff like that. I got a 20-year-old who's fantastic, and I got a 15-year-old. Great girls.
How the hell do you have a 20-year-old, dude?
Dude, if you see her, you'd be like, she's 20? I'm like, yeah, she's 20. But they're great girls. Jubilee and Phoenix, I named them. So you know I'm a comic.
No way, dude. That is amazing.
So you know I'm a comic book guy and stuff like that. And my wife named Phoenix. I named Jubilee. So that's happening there. You know, hit me up. Vote for me if you want to. This is to be one of the rare times I'll tell you to vote for me. I got some stiff competition there too, man. There's some stiff competition. So, but if you don't vote for me, I'm okay with that too, and I love you still.
Yeah, man, dude, Izzy, I think you got this, man. But dude, again, thank you so much. I agree with some of these people in the chat saying more collabs. We will make it happen. Who knows? Maybe you'll catch Izzy on a top 10 or a Shaker show. Anytime Izzy's free, he knows.
Yeah, he did ask me not that long ago. I was like, dude, it's wifey.
Doors always open, dude. So anytime you want to hang out, you know what to do. Just hit me up. But guys, that was the show. Don't forget, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, top 10, and the Shaker show. I'll be there with the crew. Laura's going to be coming back, not this week, the week after. And we're going to come back to normal with the rotation of people, etc. It's summer break, guys. Summer break. Kids are starting school, all that stuff. It gets chaotic. But
I love to hang out the Shaker Reports whenever I get the opportunity to do it too.
Yeah, dude, you have to come on, man. You have to come on. And of course, guys, don't forget, I'm back next Sunday, every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, with a new guest, new talks, and all the fun stuff. So until then, if I don't see you guys on Tuesday and Thursday, have yourselves a great week. I'll catch you next week. Adios.